Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Kia Oval here on BBC Radio London for this final T20 game for Surrey here at the Kia Oval. Whatever happens, this will be their final game here at the Kia Oval this season, and it's a very nice evening for it as well. Bit of cloud cover, nice and warm, sell-out crowd. Should be an absolute cracker because it's against the Essex Eagles, and games between Surrey and Essex are always brilliant affairs, and tonight will be no different. Now, a lot of talk about permutations, what needs to happen tonight. Let's quickly run through the table for you, and I'll keep this as simple as possible for everybody. Sussex, we know, have qualified already. So Sussex will get a home draw in the quarters. They're sitting top on 19. And then Gloucestershire on 14 points, Kent third on 14, but Gloucestershire's net run rate much better. Somerset fourth on 13 points, Middlesex fifth on 13 points, then Surrey on 12 points, but tonight is Surrey's last game. Hampshire on 11 points, Essex on 11 points, Glamorgan on 5 points. To keep this simple, everybody, there's an entire round of games to go tomorrow night as well. So what we can safely say is whichever one of these two loses tonight, that's it. Whoever wins tonight still has a chance going into games tomorrow. From a Surrey perspective, win tonight, then sit and watch the games tomorrow, and they need them to go, the results elsewhere, to go their way to scrape into the quarterfinals. But I think for both sides, key thing is win tonight. That keeps it as simple as possible for everybody, and then worry about tomorrow, which actually that's a pretty good proverb for life, as much as cricket. That laugh you can hear, Mr. Phil Walker, editor of Wisden Cricket Monthly, is alongside for this one. Good evening, Phil.
Evening, Mark.
It's a pretty, as I say, keep it simple. Both sides need to win this game tonight.
Yeah, it's beautifully poised in as much as it's a winner takes nothing but maybe something.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's in keeping with this tournament, really. You know, it's almost willfully unpredictable, the Vitality Blast, just as indeed the County Championship is as well. And it is extraordinary to be going into the last 72 hours of this tournament, and still 7 teams are still in with a shout, with only one having gone through to a last 4.
Well, that's the thing. It's Sussex are the one team that know what they're up to at the moment. The other bit of news for you is Essex win the toss, bat first. I'll run through the two sides for you. Surrey unchanged from the side that won a couple of nights ago against Somerset. So Aaron Finch, Mark Stoneman, Sam Curran, Ollie Pope, Ben Folkes, Will Jacks, Jordan Clark, Ryan Patel, Jay Dernbach, Gareth Batty and Imran Tahir. For the Essex Eagles, Tom Westley, and then Mr. Delport, another chat about him in a moment. Then Adam Wheater, Dan Lawrence. I'm getting excited about Dan Lawrence's name on the team sheet. Ryan Tenderscartha, Ravi Bopara, Phil Walter, Simon Harmer, Jamie Porter, Mohammed Amir and Adam Zampa. The reason I mentioned Mr. Delport, these two met. It was Essex's second game, Surrey's first game. It turned into a 15-over game because of the weather. Essex 226 for 4. Delport 129 of 49 balls, including 14 sixes. Lawrence 57 not out from 22 balls with 6 sixes. And Surrey actually did all right, 174 for 7. But whenever you're chasing that sort of total in a 15-over game, well, you haven't got a hope in hell. So Delport was outstanding in that game. He really was. It's going to be Imran Tahir to get us started. Mr. Walker and I are going to do an end each. Would you like the pavilion end or the Vauxhall end, Mr. Walker?
I'll take the Vauxhall, please, Mark.
Take the Vauxhall end.
Coming up the hill.
Very sensible. Especially at a sort of floodlit game, I always find take the Vauxhall end. So it's Imran Tahir, picked up 4 for against Somerset on Tuesday night, and coming in over the wicket to the right-handed Tom Westley. First ball, Westley tucks leg side down to Aaron Finch, who's just on the edge of the circle there, just behind square on the leg side, deep mid-wicket and a long on, the 2 outside the circle. Then Imran Tahir's covering the cover ring. Everybody on the edge of the cover ring as Tahir is in sunshine, and this is whipped away by Westley now. He'll look for 2 because, again, he'll only get the single. Just to explain to listeners, this on the live stream as well on the Surrey website, but for those not watching as well as listening, we're on the pitch that we were on Tuesday night. We are using virtually the entire outfield here, so it's massive boundaries either side. And what we found when Surrey have done this in the competition this evening, a lot of 2s have been run, a lot of just dinking balls into the leg side and sprinting the second. Delport comes on to strike for the first time, left-hander of course, and Imran Tahir Comes over the wicket to Delport. Delport's forward, whips leg side, will take a single out there to Will Jacks. One more to the total, 2 without loss.
Did Imran Tahir play at Chelmsford in the earlier game, or did he not?
No, that was his first game.
Right.
He went for a
So
few.
Delport took him on over mid-wicket.
Let me consult the Oracle, the old stats book for you here, Mr. Walker. As in comes Imran Tahir once again with his leg breaks to Wesley, who drives thick inside edge from Tom Wesley. That runs away out towards deep mid-wicket, and they will pick up another single. So yes, Imran Tahir in that first game against Essex, 2 overs for 39.
Blimey. Perhaps the best wrist spinner in limited overs cricket.
Tom Curran, 3 overs for 63.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
That was his first game back after the World Cup. As Imran Tahir is in, and Delport pushes off the back foot up towards mid-off. There's Sam Curran to do the fielding. Throw comes into Ben Folkes, and they'll pick up one more. Jade Dernbach's figures in amongst the carnage were outstanding in that game. 1 for 21 off his 3 overs from Jade Dernbach.
That's heroic in
and
the serve.
Rory Burns, England Test opener, still has the highest strike rate for Surrey in the competition after that game, as this is a lovely drive from Wesley up towards mid-off as Sam Curran does the fielding. Tidy first over that for Essex and for Surrey. 1 gone, and Essex winning the toss, batting first to 5 without loss.
Yeah, tidy start by Imran Tahir. Of course, two or three months ago he was opening the bowling here in a rather more high-profile game. That said, it is filling up as ever round here. 20+ thousand. It's always a sellout at the Kia Oval. But yeah, Imran Tahir from that end got rid of Johnny Bairstow within 1 delivery of the World Cup this year. So he's a pedigree cricketer, as we know, and it's been quite a coup for Surrey to have got hold of him. 41, 42 years young, I think.
He's got better as the competition's gone on. And 4 for 25 on Tuesday night against Somerset. 19 wickets in the comp.
Yeah.
He took a bit of tap in the first few games, but then slowly got into it. Never easy coming straight off the back of a disappointing World Cup campaign as well for South Africa.
No, but he's a storied cricketer, Imran Tahir. Jade Dernbach's going to deliver the second over from this Vauxhall end. The first ball is comfortably flicked off the pads by Tom Wesley. Of course, he loves it there. Worked into the onside for a couple behind square. There's just the 1 man out at deep square leg, and on the offside down at 3rd man, so obviously just 2 outside the ring, the first 6. And Dernbach, as is his wont, of course, will be mixing it up. A few back-of-the-handers, a few cutters, a few leg cutters, and the odd short one as well. He's always good value in T20 cricket. And he's in again. Wesley facing up, 7 for no loss. And this is true to form, one of the slower balls, but it's read nicely by Tom Wesley. He was in good form, in fairness, in this tournament. He's seeing it well, and he drives that nicely into the covers just for a single. Extra cover does the business.
Yeah, I was looking at Wesley's stats before the game. 245 runs, averaging 35, strike rate of 139, best 86 not out. He is a lovely player to watch. His career sort of got slightly lost in the last couple of years, hasn't it, after breaking into the England team? Yeah,
it's funny how the identity of a player's career changes with the hinging moment of whether you play or not for England. And when he didn't, it didn't quite work out. Then he just drifted back into the Shires somewhat, back into the margins. This one is beaten outside off stump, nicely bowled by Dernbach. Little bit of a way movement against the left-hander Delport, who was rather flat-footed and wafted at nothing but thin air. Yeah, he's glorious to watch, Tom Wesley. He's a real stylist. Obviously favours that mid-wicket region. He's a master through mid-wicket, but in Test cricket, he was found out somewhat to the ball outside off stump. They bowled dry against him, did South Africa. He actually made a good 50 here, and we were very excited about what was to come, but it didn't quite work for him. He's young enough, though. This one's gone high in the air. Cameron Delport, and he drops his head. This is high and easily taken. It's a poor shot. It was unnecessary at this stage. He wasn't really there for it. Tried to hoik it somewhere in the vague region of cow. May even have tried to go straight, but instead he just went straight up. And that was a pretty straightforward catch coming in at extra cover. 8 for 1. And the hero of Chelmsford from a few weeks back has gone for just a single.
Yeah, Will Jacks with the catch. What I liked about that from Will Jacks is Ben Folkes was saying, I'll have it with the gloves, but Will Jacks was, no, don't you worry. Ben, you keep those lovely hands of yours perfectly safe for some skills later in the game.
Which we may well see.
Yes, but I'll take this. But Surrey will just be delighted to see the back of Delport. Actually, he hasn't really fired after that 1-2-9.
Indeed, he got all his runs for the year in that one evening. It rings a few bells. That this is the nature of this competition as well, that you can drift in and out of form almost overnight, and it's hard to get it back because it's such an intense routine, intense schedule. Anyway, they did cross, so it will be Tom Wesley to resume, 6 not out, and he's been joined by Adam Wheater, the keeper batsman. Little pint-sized, combative kind of cricketer. He's a strong hitter though on his day, Adam Wheater. If anything, looking at this Essex lineup, they might be half a batsman shy. Paul Walters coming in, maybe a touch high at number 7. But of course, as you said at the top of the show, it's the middle order, isn't it? It's Dan Lawrence and Ravi Bopara, who got Essex home against Sussex last week. Brilliant partnership, which I happened to catch on TV. And again, it will fall to those two, I would say. There's a slight pause here.
Yeah, there's a gentleman who's doing, I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he may be in charge of the pyrotechnics.
Oh,
but he's right behind the bowler's arm. But
still,
fingers crossed we'll still get flames.
Yeah, no one's quite convinced me of the value of the flames, especially when it's 35 degrees. Anyway, here is Jay Dernbach, number 16 on his back. This one's short and pulled nicely into the onside by Tom Wesley, but of course there is that man at deep square, so just a single. In control of the shot, though, didn't quite get all of it, but in front of square, 2 or 3 bounces to the man on the boundary. Wesley, shirt billowing in the wind, untucked already. The first obvious sign of Essexness coming through right there. There will be more, folks. Dan Lawrence is as Essex as Billy Bragg. Jay Dernbach just moving the field. He's moving mid-wicket in a few steps. That's Jordan Clark, I think. Yeah, Jordan Clark just now in on the one at short mid-wicket. They're trying to squeeze Essex here. Adam Wheater to face his first delivery. This one's short and angled nicely down behind square. Ian Bell style down to third man, and Wheater is off the mark. First ball. 2 overs gone. Surrey so far, 10 for 1 Essex.
Yeah, it's a good over from Jay Dernbach. And as you said, mixed it up. And Delport, that was the slower one again, one of his many varieties. And Delport was just trying to launch it out of the ground. And on the live stream in a moment, I think we'll get a replay of that. Yeah, here we go from another angle. And he completely lost his shape here. But what I like with this was Will Jacks, as I say, saying to Ben Folks, I'll get this, because he was up there for ages. And Mark Stoneman wasn't going anywhere, but Will Jacks, very solid catch that. Sam Curran is into the attack down there at the pavilion end. And he's having a bit of a natter here with Jay Dernbach. And Sam Curran, well, he's sort of been, you never really get a proper run at bowling in T20 cricket. So this season in the comp for Sam Curran, 4 wickets, 2 for 23 is best. Economy rate of 9.17, and coming in left arm over the wicket to Adam Wheater. Wheater shot up and over the top. Oh, has he got enough? No, he hasn't. Oh, Adam Wheater, I thought he got more on that than he had. And I've said shot, but he's actually toe-ended it. And Mark Stoneman takes a very good catch running back. And Adam Wheater's gone now. Essex have a few problems. They're 10 for 2, but it looked great off the bat from here. But it's actually gone nowhere. And Adam Wheater can't quite believe that. He'll make his way off, gone for 1, and it's 10 for 2, Phil Walker.
Yeah, that was illusory, let's say, because it looked like he'd got it well. The body shape was there. The timing appeared to be there. He accelerated through the shot at just the right time. He kept his shape as well, and yet maybe slightly high on the bat, a little bit early in his innings. And it was a tidy catch running back behind him. But I was with you there, Mark. I thought that had cleared the infield and would have been running away through cover point, maybe extra cover for 4. As it is, Essex 2 down already. And as we know, in South London, on this track, if you're behind the 8 ball early, then it's very, very difficult to bring it back. With all that firepower, of course, in Surrey's ranks. This is really where Essex's engine room is, though. Dan Lawrence at 4, Ravi Bopara at 5. Ravi at 6, rather. Tender Charter at 5. This is where it starts.
Sam Curran into Wheater. Apologies, Wesley. And this one's run down towards Gareth Batty at short third man. They'll get a single. That'll bring Dan Lawrence on to strike. And Wesley moves on to 8-11 for 2. It was sort of the David Blaine of cricket shots there. Because the illusion was that was soaring over extra cover, as it was.
Normally I don't get you out of trouble, Mark, but I was absolutely with you there. I thought myself, that's cleared them comfortably.
Yeah, I thought that was going for 4. Dan Lawrence waits for his first ball from Sam Curran, looks for the whip through the leg side straight away with his wrists of gold, Dan Lawrence. And thick inside edge, rolls away into the leg side, and there's no run. Well, that 50 he scored against Surrey was outstanding. He's got 4 50s in the comp this season. 302 runs, averaging 50.33, Dan Lawrence.
Yeah, it's
hugely talented boy, this one.
Indeed, it's interesting that he began as a 4-day player and has become more recognised now as a 1-day player, but he's overall a very good county cricketer.
Forward goes Lawrence. Slower ball from Sam Curran. Good over this from Sam Curran. Pushed away down to Will Jacks at backward point. Just on the fashion stakes for tonight. Surrey in the duck egg blue and black trousers, and Essex in the yellow, predominantly yellow shirts with the blue sleeves. And the blue trousers.
It's the retro Essex kit, the John Stevenson early 90s years.
It's magnificent. As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran. Lawrence,
nice.
Lovely shot, just waits for this, opens the face, guides it off. Down to the third man boundary rope for 4. Beautifully played by Dan Lawrence, just kisses that off the face of the bat. Lawrence is off the mark with the boundary, and it's 15 for 2.
Yeah, beautifully played by Dan Lawrence. He's in form. And he's one of these cricketers, of which there are many in English cricket, who you feel like they're on the cusp of something. He's still young, Dan Lawrence. I think he's 23, 22, in fact, just turned 22. Of course, he was 17 when he made that amazing 100 here 5 years ago against Surrey.
Seems like a long time ago, that, as this one's cut away by Lawrence, straight to Jacks at backward point. They thought about the single, there isn't one there. Of course, Kevin Peterson played in that game.
He did indeed.
3 gone, 15 for 2, that was the game as well. And he's here tonight, the Zafar Ansari, of course, in the first half an hour of the game. Dived headlong into a boundary board, concussed himself, and didn't take any further part in the game.
My word, I remember that now, I remember that well.
It all happened. It all happened in that game. KP was here, Lawrence got 100 at 17.
What was impressive about that 100, I remember I watched it over the 2 days, and he was 50 odd not out overnight, and you think, all right, the kid's done his business. You know, he's got himself a 50, got himself into professional cricket, and he went on and got 159, I think it was, the morning after. Went downtown as well against a couple of spinners, you know, opened his shoulders. He's brilliant talent. To the here and now anyway, Jay Dernbach in again. This one's full, on the pads, whipped away extravagantly by Tom Wesley, but again just to the man at deep backwards, so just a single, moves on to 8, 9 in fact.
Ground beginning to fill up now. I think people just still heading here from having a libation before the start, I think it's fair to say. Just
a couple of looseners, Mark,
looseners, that's the terms. Oh, and there might be a bit of every 2020. Why is it?
What's happened
the
there?
old London Underground. Every 2020, it's almost like they time it to perfection. 2020 on tonight. Northern Line's down.
Yeah.
2020 on at Lords. Jubilee Line's down.
Yeah, this country worked beautifully 150 years ago. Jay Dernbach in again, straight run, indomitable style really, and he'll pick up a single into the onside. Slightly short, I think he saw Dan Lawrence coming down the track, and so Lawrence just adjusted against a slightly short ball and eased it into the onside. We are going to do well not to get these two mixed up. They both use the same bat manufacturer. Their shirts are both gloriously untucked. They're both rather willowy kind of characters who favour the onside. So if we get through this without mixing them up, I think we've done well here.
I think we have. We could just look at the numbers.
We could do that, I suppose. That's giving in though, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
Wesley, leg side, flicked fine, doesn't beat Aaron Finch there on the man on the 45. I think it's just off the pad, yeah, just a leg by there. He'd be frustrated there, Tom Wesley, because that is very much his area, and you can see he throws his head back, throws the shoulders back as well. He knew that he missed out there, just a single off the pad. Essex 18 for 2. Slowish start, rather truncated start really by the visitors at this stage.
The other thing I've noticed, Mr. Walker, is that Ben Foakes, he's been using these gloves for warm-ups. He's using them tonight. They're a new black number to go with the kit.
I've noticed that he means business. He's in again, Dernbach. Short, wide, slap, but straight to the man behind square on the offside. No run. That would frustrate Dan Lawrence as well, because it was there to hit. That said, with Jade, you know that sometimes he bowls deliveries that are deceptively bad, you know. They look like they're just dragged into the pitch at half-mast, and yet they are deceptively tricky to get away. He is a man who knows 20 over cricket, no pun intended, from the back of his hand. And there may well be one coming up right here. 18
Brilliant.
for 2. Thanks, mate. That was a fluke, wasn't it?
Well there.
Yeah, cheers. 3.4 gone. 18 for 2. Fullish, driven nicely off the back foot into the offside, but just a single again. Surrey have their two boundary riders square on both sides. But Dan Lawrence has looked very much at ease since he's come out. Just 6 so far, but he's looked very comfortable. As Mark says, coming off the back of a couple of definitive innings, really. 59 last week against Sussex, and then 69 against Hampshire over the weekend.
He's in good nick. He looks in good form, doesn't he? Since he's walked out there, he's looked in good form.
Tom Wesley, slightly more skittish, but he faces up to Dernbach, and this one is probably a wide. It is a wide. Back of the hander, just drifting down the leg side. Couldn't get any bat on it. Dernbach will have another go.
Can't believe that's been given a wide there, Jay Dernbach.
I wonder if it might have just scraped the toe of the bat, because he's not happy, and direction-wise, there was no question it was a wide, but perhaps Wesley just got a little tickle on that. Dernbach certainly thinks so.
He always does.
Indeed, you said it. 20 for 2. Surrey on top at this early stage, but Essex's two gun leg side Lennies are in at the moment. Wesley on 9, Dan Lawrence on 6, and Dernbach shortish, nicely directed in that corridor. It's just a single into the offside, dropped at his feet by Wesley. He will keep the strike. 4 gone, just 2 remaining of the power play, and Surrey will be feeling quite chipper at this stage.
Yeah, and Jay Dernbach just having a little chat there with umpire Paul Pollard. Ian Gould here tonight as well. Mr. Gould is here, so Gunnar Gould at the pavilion end. And
is there a more popular man in world cricket than Gunnar Gould?
What a legend that man is. His book, if he ever writes an autobiography, it's going to be and good to see you've brought your energy drinks with you as well, Mr. Walker.
I'm a pro to my bootlaces.
You are. I think your office are listening, aren't they, over there? Good to see you've nicked a few of the energy drinks from the Wisden fridge. Yeah,
the isotonic fridge.
Yeah, the isotonic, nothing but energy.
You've rather blown my cover there, Mr. Church. However, I am a late addition to your show, aren't I? Yes,
you're working. Sam Curran from the pavilion end. In over the wicket. This one whipped straight back up the ground by Wesley, and Sam Curran does the fielding off his own bowling.
How's he bowled, Sam, this year?
Okay, I think I've always said with Sam is when Sam has to bowl. Sam has to bowl. He has to keep bowling, bowling and bowling. And the problem that Sam's had is he's sort of been going up to join up with England, coming back, missing games of cricket. As in over the wicket he comes. Oh, Wesley picks him up off a length. You know, it's a right old heave over the leg side, but it's effective from Wesley, and it's one bounce and away for 4 runs. So not the most elegant shot you'll ever see Tom Wesley play, but it's an effective one. He moves on to 14, 25 for 2. Obviously deciding now he's got to have a bit of a go, because as Phil Walker was saying, we're into the 5th over, and there's only 25 on the board as Sam Curran's in again. Short one, Wesley pulls in front of square, 1 bounce for 4. Very good shot.
Good batting that, because he anticipated what was coming. The first one was in the slot, and it was a rather agricultural heave, if you like, over straight mid-wicket. But that one, he's waited for it. The bouncer from Sam Curran, and he was bang in position, Tom Wesley, and creamed it. 2, 3, 4 bounce 4 through mid-wicket. 2 needed boundaries for Tom Wesley as well, because he's been slow to get going so far.
Made a lovely noise off his bat, Tom Wesley. As Sam Curran, a couple of boundaries then, is in. Wesley looks to work up the ground, will take the single. And there is Aaron Finch to do the fielding. 1 more to Wesley. He moves on to 19, 30 for 2. Do you know I don't get out a lot. I think I would really enjoy a radio series, where all it is the noise of different shots with ball on bat, and whether it's been a good shot or, because that one with Wesley there, I think with your eyes shut you'd have known it was going for 4. Absolutely creamed it. Lawrence is waiting now. Curran's down the leg side, and Lawrence just stands straight and then whips it.
That's the Lawrence that I know and love.
Those wrists of Lawrence are extraordinary. Sam Curran saw Lawrence step outside the leg stump. He sort of set up on a leg stump guard anyway, and then he followed him, and he's literally just stood up straight and bottom-handed it like a rocket down to the fine leg boundary rope for 4. He would be, I don't know whether he has, he would be my penalty flick taker in hockey.
Yeah,
Dan Lawrence.
Good.
Brilliant wrists. I always say it with that. I could watch Dan Lawrence all day. As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran, and Lawrence is forward, pushing this one out towards Jordan Clark at cover, and they'll pick up a single to the edge of the circle. Best over for Essex.
Comfortably, yeah.
Yep, 5 gone, and Sam Curran there conceding 14 off the over. And Essex going at 7s here on BBC Radio London. Phil Walker alongside us, which is an absolute joy. And 7s and over, 5 gone, 35 for 2.
On your dream, your desert island discs of just listening to cracks off the middle of a blade.
Yes.
You ever seen The Big Lebowski?
I have, yes.
Do you remember that scene where he's lying on his rug, or where he thinks his rug is, but it's been stolen, of course, and he's listening to great 10-pin bowling moments? Just the noise, that beautiful acoustic noise of 10-pin bowls just shattering with a well-directed ball.
For me, it would be a bit like whale music. You know, people that if you need to relax, it's the sound of a whale, isn't it? For me, it would be the sound of bat on ball.
Ian Healy used to say David Gower's bat made a different noise to any other player he'd ever come across. Anyway, back to the here and now. This looks like Jordan Clark back into the attack, and this is beautifully played. Dan Lawrence just steps back to the leg side, opens his shoulders, doesn't overhit it, and creams it all the way, folks. All the way over extra cover into the bleachers, 2, 3, 4 rows back. Barely hit it, 70, 80% tops. Little stride down the track, give himself room, stays in the shot. Welcome to the attack, Jordan Clark. 1 delivery, 6 already to his name, and he's in again. Bustling style. This one's inevitably a slower ball out the back of the hand, and it's played into the offside for a single. Good batting, Dan Lawrence. He's already up to 19, and he looks like he's in the mood today. 18, correction, up to 18. Tom Wesley is on 19, ready to roll himself, having freed his arms in the previous over against Sam Curran. And Essex, after a miserable start, really, a rather confused start in truth, are now 42 for 2 in the 6th, and they're going not too badly. Jordan Clark in again, this time to Tom Wesley, and this one's right in the slot, but it's driven straight to extra cover, and they're going to have to make the ground. Oh my word, he's gone. Run out. No, the umpire keeps his finger down. My word.
Goodness me, that must have been very tight. Mark Stoneman, that from here, that was out. Mark Stoneman with a brilliant bit of fielding. Hits the stump, seeing it again.
Oh, he's put his finger up, Mark Stoneman has, he's sure of it.
He was absolutely convinced, because it's direct hit. But not given, we're not on the telly. So he survives a lucky moment there, I think, Tom Wesley. I have to say, Dan Lawrence, that first shot of this over, the only way I can describe that is a naughty shot, isn't it, from Dan Lawrence, that?
There may be more. He's on strike. Jordan Clark, this one's short, and it's flicked over. Oh my word, no, he's gone. How about that? I thought he'd cleared short third man, but well bowled Jordan Clark, and my word, Essex will be kicking themselves there. Dan Lawrence, just when he was getting going, has rather served up an easiest catch to short third man in round to here there. And Essex, momentum stunted suddenly, 43 for 3. And Lawrence, look, he can barely drag himself off. Wesley may have got a life with the run out the previous delivery. We certainly thought so up here. Well, Dan Lawrence has rather handed Surrey the impetus there. It was banged into the pitch. It was kind of head height, and you could see what he was trying to do, but it was one of these deliveries that medium pacers bowl a lot now, and there was no pace on it, no momentum on that delivery, and so he couldn't really engineer it.
Yeah, right shot, just wrong execution, really, because, as you say, it was the slower one dug into the pitch. He was off his feet, and he was just hoping there'd be a bit more pace on it, and there wasn't, and he just guided it straight to him round to here. So that's a big wicket for Surrey. I think what Wesley and Lawrence were sort of saying to themselves was, look, we've got 2 overs to go in the power play, we've got to get after this, and they were doing it very nicely, but that has just handed the initiative straight back to Surrey. And it brings Ryan Tenderscarter out to the middle. He'll be at the non-strikers. And that shows how slowly it went to him round to here.
Yeah.
At short third man, in the fact they crossed.
Yeah, indeed. So, having got a bit of tap in the first part of this over, Jordan Clark has come back well. He's got his man. went the distance first delivery, and he's now got rid of the danger man Lawrence, and he's back into the attack. This one is shortish, pushed up to mid-off by Wesley, who moves on to 21. Tender Charter is the new man, the club captain, of course, doesn't captain the T20 side. That is Simon Harmer these days, an outstanding off-spin bowler who we'll be seeing later on this evening. But Tender Charter has been round the block and then some. He's been a storied county cricketer now for a decade and more, and they need a special from him right here and now, because, as we said at the top of the show, they are lacking somewhat in terms of batting depth, Essex. Final delivery of the over, and it may well run away for 4 off the pads. It does indeed. It's nicely timed by Ryan Tender Charter. It was there to hit, and he's just helped it around the corner. The man at deep backward just could not get round in time, and a much needed boundary for Essex. So 6 gone, power play done, 48 for 3. Surrey's for sure, but at least Essex have a man in on with Tom Wesley on 21. Tender Charter just joined the fray, and of course Ravi Bopara, who played a classic vintage Ravi innings last week, 40-odd against Sussex. Crucial innings really in the story of their T20 campaign this year. He will be in next. 48 for 3, over to Mark.
Yeah, the funny thing there is, yes, he lost Lawrence, 27 off those 2 overs, overs 5 and 6. So Wesley and Lawrence were definitely trying to make the most of the last 2 overs. Now 5 go out for Imran Tahir, 7th over. Coming into Wesley, whips this one out towards deep mid-wicket. I'll say what I always say. A game against Essex is never over until Mr. Tender Charter is back in the pavilion with the bat, because I have seen him single-handedly beat Surrey on occasion in T20 cricket. Wonderful cricketer, this man. 49 for 3. Oop. And Imran Tahir was about to come over the wicket to him. I think...
and in 4-day cricket as well. He was...
the 100 he got here to win the game last year.
Right at the death,
in the championship. Brilliant 100. As in over the wicket comes Tahir, tosses this one up, and Tender Charter's pushing this one straight back up the pitch, and there's no run. So Imran Tahir, as I say, has got better as the competition's gone on. They're going to swap Mark Stoneman with Jordan Clark. So Jordan Clark goes down to long off. There's long on, 2 men back on the leg side rope, sweeper on the cover rope. Tender Charter works this one out towards deep mid-wicket, and this will be what Surrey look to do now, defend the long boundaries, because they're massive here at the Kia Oval.
And it's good to see as well, too often T20 games you shrink the playing surface too much.
50 for 3, the 50 is up in the 7th over. Wesley knocks this one into the leg side. We'll get a single as Ollie Pope comes up to do the fielding. That there's the best seats in the house that you can win here through the sponsor, and I think that one of the gentlemen sat on his chair has got an earpiece in. He might even be listening to the commentary, so if he is, good evening to you, sir, in your comfy chair down there, as this one's whipped away by Tender Charter. Wants 2, that's good running. That's what we're talking about, those big boundaries. If you hit the gap, run the first quick, and you can always get back for the second. Really enjoying these Ben Folks keeping gloves though. They've got little sort of yellow patches on the fingers like the old gloves, batting gloves. As in comes Tahir, forward goes Tender Charter, pushes this one into the offside. Quick singles taken, Stoneman quickly round to do the fielding, but busy start as always from Ryan Tender Charter. Gets out, he's always on the go, runs hard between the wickets, finds boundaries. 54 for 3, Phil Walker, 7 overs gone, and at the moment Surrey will be happy with where they find Essex, but as I say, Ryan Tender Charter has done it so many times against Surrey. Gentleman wanders on our commentary balcony there. I think he's just adjusting his bits and pieces for the live coverage. Maybe changing his lead, I think.
You wouldn't want to mess with him, would you?
You wouldn't, not at all. Especially if he's adjusting your FX cable.
Yeah.
He's doing a very fine job. And Gareth Batty into the attack, who's done a very fine job for Surrey this season in the T20. Gareth Batty, still an extraordinarily good bowler in T20 cricket.
That he is. And didn't he have a day out as well in the 4-day stuff earlier in the year?
Yeah, he did. He did the 8th against Warwickshire.
In a game that Surrey ended up losing.
Including a hat-trick, yes.
Batty, first delivery. Oh, a big classic moon ball outside off stump. And beats Tender Charter on the drive. That's a punchy start. But then you come to expect that from Gareth Batty, one of the great competitors, really, of English cricket, I would say. And one of the nicest, most approachable blokes as well. He still bleeds for the cause, doesn't he? It's great to see. What is he now, 42?
41, I
41.
think now. 41.
Yeah, he's a star, is Gareth Batty. He's in again. And this one, again, he's given a lot of air. It doesn't quite come down, and Ryan Tender-Shasta can only turn it quietly into the onside. Not even for a single. There is one man in the ring, and it goes rather dribbles straight to him. It's an excellent start, this, by Gareth Batty, and he's in again. This one is inevitably flatter. Oh, I think that may just have flicked the pad and run away for a couple. If it hadn't, then Ben Folkes would have had those stumps off. It was down the leg side, deliberately so, I think. I think he saw him coming. Batty fired it down the leg side, and I just think it flicks the buckle maybe of the outside pad, and Tender-Shasta gets away with it. Couple of leg buys, 56 for 3. In again, Batty. This one, reverse sweep. It goes up. No, the umpire just moves away, not interested in that. Another direct hit this time. And again, the umpire is becalmed. In fact, they do get an extra run out too long off. So let's unpick that. Two leg buys. Batty's removed a stump. I hope he's not going to impale it anywhere.
Just chaos.
Just put it back in the ground, Gaz. Put it, there we go, back in the ground. Good stuff.
Absolute chaos. At the end of those two runs, Gareth Batty was stood. There was one step left, and he was holding the other one that he'd taken out. And after all of that, it's a couple of runs. Brilliant little passage of play, that.
He's ticking now, Gaz. You can sense it. He's in again. This one, again, is flatter this time. Shortish. Driven into the pitch. And an easy single up to long on. Tender-Shasta just rocks back and punches it off the inside edge up to long on.
Of course, people will remember the famous crossbow bolt incident.
Of course.
One of my favourite ever quotes from Gareth Batty, obviously captaining Surrey.
Yeah.
I never realised that he was a pretty good archer himself, he said.
This one is in again, and no run. Brilliant opening over Gareth Batty. That one was tossed up. Again, only worked into the onside, straight to Mark Stoneman at mid-wicket. Superb start, just 59 for 3, 8 overs gone, and it's funny how quickly these overs start to tick by. Just 12 remaining, and Essex need to get a wriggle on here.
Yeah, so the quote emerged during that madness of, yes, I was a pretty good archer myself in my younger days, and I can tell you that was a proper bolt.
Brilliant quote from Batty. So, yeah, Gareth Batty's been brilliant this season.
7.63 economy rate, 12 wickets, best of 3 for 7. And him and Tahir have formed a very good partnership.
Yeah.
And Imran Tahir to bowl the 9th over. And Ryan Tender-Shasta waits, quicker one, looking to pull and hits the thigh guard, rolls away into the leg side, and there is no run. But yes, I think that little clip there of that 2 runs will probably do the rounds in the fact that he was absolute chaos. You don't often see the bowler with a stump in their hand. This one's turned leg side by Ryan Tender-Shasta. Think about 2, but Ollie Pope is quickly up to do the fielding. It was quite a fearsome sight, actually. Gareth Batty just holding a stump. 60 for 3. But again, it's umpire Pollard. They might be better off throwing to umpire Gould's end, because umpire Pollard's not giving anything tonight. As in over the wicket goes Imran Tahir. Slog sweep from Wesley for 6. Good shot from Tom Wesley.
Brave
got enough
shot
on it, and definitely against the spin. Unless he picked it, he's gone against the spin, and that's a big old carry there, leg side to the Peter May stand, the gasometer side of the ground, but he's got a lot of it, and gone for 6. And Wesley moves on to 29, 66 for 3. Ollie Pope watched it go over his head. Imran Tahir in once again. Wesley this time inside out over extra cover. And 1 bounce, 2 bounces out to Will Jacks, who does the fielding. And they'll pick up another single, 1 more to Wesley. He moves on to 30, 67 for 3.
Yeah, I like that shot by Tom Wesley. It was a clear risk, 2 men out on the sweep, and he knows that this innings hinges on him. But he backed himself, and he got enough of it, cleared him comfortably really in the end. Ollie Pope at deep mid-wicket. And just a little bit of momentum again back into this Essex innings. 67 for 3, 8.5 gone.
Imran Tahir is in once more, and it was almost York Tender-Shasta. I think he may have got a little bit of something on that. Rolls away into the leg side, just watching umpire Gould. Yeah, bottom edge into the leg side. Scott Borthwick down there doing the drinks duties at the moment, which reminds me, latest edition of Oval Time is now out. The award-winning, we're massive in Egypt, Mr. Walker, our podcasters. This is driven out towards extra cover by Wesley, and there is no run. End of the over,
And 9 gone, 68 for 3. Of course, Wisden, you boys do one a day. But our latest one of oval time is out, and if people would have a listen, be very grateful, mainly to hear a very philosophical question set by Scott Borthwick.
I think you told me about this before.
Yeah, no, but this week's one, to Mornay Morkel and myself, his philosophical question is, it's the work of a genius.
Right, an
it's
accidental
the work
genius?
of a great mind. No, because he's thought about it an awful lot. But I won't give it away, but
right, fine.
Have a listen just for that.
Gareth Batty in again, short, bang on the money, and it's just turned into the onside for a single this time. Tendershafter managing to beat the man this time at the shortish mid-wicket. Brings Tom Wesley back on strike. Wesley just 30 from 9.1. With that maximum in the previous over, he'll be feeling like it might be his time to go. Reverse sweep, bang on cue. Oh, and he's picked out the man. Picked out the man at short third man, and oh, that is a killer for Tom Wesley, because, as we say, he was getting going, and it's Jade Dern back there. He doesn't miss that. The shot was on in terms of the length of the delivery. The shot was on. He turned himself around for the reverse sweep, changed his hands, changed his feet, but he rather clothed it to the man, the only man behind square on the offside. And it's rather the story of Essex's innings so far. As soon as they get going, get a bit of a head of steam, they hit the skids. 69 for the loss of 4. Hold the back page, folks. Ravi's with us.
Yeah, here he comes. Mr. Bapara is on his way. But yeah, it's that old one. Often say it, sometimes in 2020, the days before automatic clutches on the car and you go out and it's cold. This innings is a bit like that, isn't it? Yeah, trying to get the car going.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps stops again, and then you try again. But of course, here comes one of the great players, Mr. Bapara. So looking forward to watching Mr. Bapara as always. Just strolls out there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a dreamboat, Ravi Bapara. Simple as that. I interviewed him once in his chicken shop in East Ham.
I remember, a great article that was.
He's in again, Gareth Batty. He knows exactly what he's about in this form of the game, and that one is played out quietly by Ravi into the onside for no run.
You were with Tom Wesley, weren't you, when he got his England call up?
Yeah,
brilliant.
That was quite a morning. He's in again, Batty this time. Little pause, and this one is a comfortable wide down the leg side. We go again. Essex creep on to 70 in the 10th. I do love Gareth Batty's walk. It's glorious, isn't it? It's kind of a Portobello Road walk with a touch of Charlie Chaplin. He's in again, and this one is floated up nicely, bang on the money, and Ryan Tenderscarter cannot, in fact, Ravi Bapara can't find the gap. So he's yet to get going here, Ravi. 2 deliveries, still on a blob. Batty turns quickly this time, shortish into the onside, and Bapara's off and running. He runs the first one, sharpish, but that's all a grand facade, as we know. It's just a single, and Ravi will just mosey on to the non-striker's end, loosen those shoulders and prepare for the rest. One delivery to go of the 10th over. Surrey's game so far, 71 for 4. Essex makes room this time, Ryan Tenderscarter, and there's a pause and a misunderstanding, but they're just in, I think. Yeah, Ravi. Yes, no, wait, sorry for a moment, but he manages to get in, and another single to finish that over. 72 for 4 at the halfway point. Surrey will be ticking.
Yeah, the 4 to go here on BBC London. Dalport caught Jack's Bold Dernbat for 2. And then Adam Wheater caught by Stoneman off Sam Curran for 1. Dan Lawrence caught by Tahir off Clark for 18. And then Tom Wesley's just gone, caught Dernbat Bold Batty for 30. I tell you what, Ravi Bapara might like this setup in the fact of the big boundaries, because he's the master at knocking it into gaps. So he might enjoy this tonight, Ravi Bapara. Oh, Aaron Finch. We had 1 over of Finch in the game on Tuesday. We're going to get left arm over again from Aaron Finch. Oh, and he's actually tossed one up. 11th over, it's gone past Ryan Tenderscarter's outside edge.
Were you looking out there?
I was. I think Ryan Tenderscarter was. As Finch is in again. Oh, he's tossed another one up, and this one's cut by Ryan Tenderscarter out there to Imran Tahir. He burgled an over on Tuesday night. He's looking to burgle another over here.
Third team club cricketers up and down the land will be shivering at what they're seeing here.
Absolutely.
Canny old world cricket here by Aaron Finch.
He hasn't bowled a dart yet because he basically bowled medium pace off 3 paces
Right,
on
okay.
Tuesday night.
This is the opposite at the moment.
It is. Well, maybe he's thinking they watched the video of the game on Tuesday. Double bluff. It's driving is Ravi Bopara. Nice looking shot. And Jordan Clark, wow, that's clever. He slid, made a Horlicks of it. It's managed to hit his boot, go up in the air, and he's caught it on the full. And they're back for 2. I mean, he couldn't do that again if he tried,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought, Jordan Clark. 75 for 4 in the 11th. Very clever that from Jordan Clark. Slid, missed it, hit his boot, went straight up in the air, caught it on the full, and then whipped it back in. Brilliant. As Finch is in again. This one, Ravi Bopara punches down the ground towards long off. There's Jordan Clark with the throw. Couple of bounces in over the top of the stumps.
How do you feel about this air conditioning in here, Mark?
Well, I think we might turn it off at some point.
Yeah, before we freeze.
Well, there is last week, as round the wicket comes Finch. This is short. This
6.
is pulled by Tenduskarter for 6. Into the crowd and dropped. Oh dear, just dropped £1,000 in the crowd, that gentleman.
And he knows it.
He does.
He's crestfallen, the boy.
Devastated. That was a long hop
Yeah.
from Aaron Finch. I don't think there's any other way of describing that.
That would have wiped out a 10th of his student loan right there, wouldn't it?
Oh, God, dear. Has all paid for his marriage. As this is cut by Tenduskarter out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope. Jacks is round to do the fielding. Throw comes in over the top of the stumps. Will Jacks has fouled that as he let the ball go. End of the over, 83 for 4. So, 11 off that Aaron Finch over. That might be it for Aaron Finch, just bowling the one over. And 9 to go here on BBC Radio London. And Phil Walker is alongside. And now, what are Essex? With another 9 to go, you want to be up around 170, 180. So they're going to have to get on with it in a minute.
Yeah, 10 and over from here gets them up to 170. That will certainly be a target. And they are a bowling side, Essex, so they'll be comfortable with that, I think. This one again batting. It's another moon ball above the eye line. Dabbed into the onside, no run.
Quite glad I wore my tank top now.
Yeah, I can't feel my neck or my upper body at all anymore. Gareth Batty in again. This one again beautifully bowled. It's been an exhibition here of old-fashioned off-break bowling. They do get a single, Essex, into the onside, but they are becalmed emphatically by Gareth Batty's old-as-the-hills skills.
You know what? If I could be reincarnated as a cricketer, I'd like to come back as a spinner.
Batty, shorter this time, leg side, flicked by Ravi into the onside for a single. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Bat 11, field in the outer.
But be one of those really intelligent spinners.
Yeah.
A sort of Tufnell-esque, Batty-esque type spinner.
Batty down the track this time, Tenduskarter, and plays it nicely into the onside, but straight to the man at deep square. So only a single. They do turn for a second, but it's not going to happen. Well bowled again, Gareth Batty. Yeah, I'm with you entirely. Left arm spinner for me.
Yep.
With a kind of ambiguous relationship with the cricket ball, I think.
Yes,
you know,
definitely. Well, one of my
you're not always
greats.
going to be guaranteed to turn up on time.
No.
You're going to listen to Nick Drake under a tree when you're batting, and then bowl like a dream. This time on the sweep, Ravi, but straight to the man again at the on the boundary, just behind square. In the legs on the leg side, and so Ravi moves on to 6. Tenduskarter quietly does it, but he's on to 23. And as so often, he holds the key in this innings. Batty again, playing a miss outside off stump. Classy work. What are his figures, Mark Church? Any idea?
I can get those for you, Mr. Walker, if you just give me a second.
Yeah, all in good time.
I'll just consult the oracle. But that's a lovely piece of bowling again at the end there from Gareth Batty, wasn't it? He's been outstanding in this competition this year. And I know if you asked him in interview, just doing my job, that's all he'd say. But he has been absolutely brilliant for Surrey in the competition this year.
I was involved in an old, like an open day for an old magazine I used to work with at Lord's, and we had someone falling out. Gareth Batty came in for free, helped us out for free, gave his whole day for us. I'm just going to help you out here, Mark, because you're fiddling around.
Well,
Imran to here.
Yeah, we'll do it in stereo.
Back in.
To Ravi Bopara. And he'll get a single down the ground.
To long on.
And one more to the total. That works quite well, actually. They do a word each. But Batty's figures so far today, is that correct? As in over the wicket comes to here, and this is turned by Tenduskarter into the leg side. They'll pick up a single. 3 overs for Gareth Batty. so far, and I think that's 1 for 9 tonight.
Sounds about right.
Batty.
Certainly,
yeah.
They've not played a shot in anger against him. It's been a masterclass.
Imran Tahir is in over the wicket, and this one's turned by Ravi Bopara into the leg side. He'll pick up a single, 1 more to the total. Bopara moves on to 8, 90 for 4. There are so many commentators these days that might be the way to do it, to give everybody enough work. Do a word each. As in over the wicket comes Tahir, tossed up, slog sweep, tender scarter. Oh, Ollie Pope sprinted and dived to his left. And it was a great effort to get across there, Ollie Pope, remembering the dislocated shoulder there against Essex in the Royal London One Day Cup. But Ryan Tender-Scarter nailed that. He's on to 28, 94 for 4.
I wonder if Ed Smith may have been watching. I think, don't dive, Ollie, don't dive.
As in over the wicket once again goes Tahir, and Tender-Scarter again. Oh, Ollie Pope! It's over his head. He's coming off the rope, and it's gone straight over his head for 6 more. So, back to back, 4 for Tender-Scarter, then the flat 6, the 100 up. Tender-Scarter's pushing the button, and Tender-Scarter moves on to 34.
It's one of those, Ricky Clark would have had that, the taller man would have had that one, I think.
As in over the wicket once again is Tahir, quicker ball on the toes. Tender-Scarter picks up a single down there to Gareth Batty at short fine leg, end of the over. So good acceleration in that over, 14 off it. 101 for 4 now after 13. Essex, Tender-Scarter on 35 and Ravi Bopara on 8.
Yeah, Ravi just waiting to get going. He might be seeing off Gareth Batty here, I think, who's been utterly unhittable so far. 3 overs for 9 on a flat one at the Oval.
Got new shoes on tonight, Phil Walker.
Yeah,
you're a bit uncomfy.
I can see you trying to work them in.
Yeah, I've got a terrible blister now.
Batty on the money, as we come to expect. Easy single into the onside, but nothing more than that. Tender-Scarter, they're just seeing him off here, Mark, I think.
Yeah, well, it's very sensible. It's gone for 10 so far, Gareth Batty. And the lovely thing is the changes of pace from Gareth Batty, isn't it? He's got it on a piece of string tonight.
Batty in again. That little hop and a skip, and short-ish, but deliberately so. No pace on it, and it can just be punched down the ground for a single. Ravi Bopara playing within himself at the minute. 6 and a bit to go, 6.4 to go.
I was a little upset earlier because unnamed member of the Surrey staff, I sat with my new shoes on down by the dugout.
All in good time. Gareth Batty floated up flat and hard, but just one bounce to the man at long on. I thought possibly Tender-Scarter had picked out Ryan Patel down there, but thankfully for the Essex man, he didn't get enough of it to carry that far, and so just a single. 3 singles from the first 3 deliveries of Batty's final over here. Just 12 runs from it. Sensational stuff. Make that 13. Beautiful shot, Ravi Bopara. God, he's beautiful to watch, and he's just driven that one from under his nose, checked down the ground for 1. I don't care if it goes for a single or not. That's a pretty shot by Ravinder Bopara. One of the great stylists, one of the great kind of poets of the county game. He is though, isn't he? Short, rocking back, nicely played into the offside. Tender-Scarter, but just a single to the man, Ollie Pope, at deep square.
Yeah, they're just going to knock this over out. Try and pick up a single off every ball. Very sensibly played by these two.
I think it makes sense, really. 106 for 4, so a good last 6. They can get up to 170, 180, and they've got a puncher's chance with that. And there is the single, as expected, off the final delivery. 6 singles to finish off Gareth Batty's spell. 15 from his 4, with the key wicket of Tom Wesley caught reverse sweeping on the 45. Excellent work.
Yeah, he's been outstanding again tonight, Gareth Batty. Very good bowling from Gareth Batty. As I say, it almost looked like he had it on a piece of string there. So yeah, sat in my new shoes, Phil Walker.
Yeah, sorry.
An unnamed member of staff walked past and said, Elvis is in the building. And I was like, oh, come on.
Because they're bluish and suede-ish,
They're pretty
right?
good, though, aren't they? You'd like these, wouldn't you?
They're
your sort of shoe.
They're very raffish.
You see, the reason I've got a new pair of shoe is, as I sat here the other night, I did my Derek Pringle. I even tweeted it.
No.
My big toes went
you cut it
straight
out
through the front.
We've all
of
done
my
it.
trainers, yes.
They are genuinely quite stylish,
Thank
Mark.
you very much. Thank you.
You wear your style lightly most of the time, but they are They are strong.
Thank you.
I'm thinking 40 quid, Clark's.
Oh, you're spot on with the price. The other shoe shops are available, of course.
Of course.
But my
this
ones,
is the British Broadcasting
my
Corporation.
my ones are the one where most of my clothes come from as well. If I say to you Blue Harbour,
Yes.
sure. Yes, absolutely. Keep the receipt. You can always take them back. So it's going to be Sam Curran. I'm at that age from the pavilion end.
I'm hurtling towards that too, Mark. Thankfully, we have a few style icons in our office. Taha Hashim.
Oh.
Newish recruit, one of the most stylish young hipsters you're ever going to come across. But he doesn't ram it down your throat. He doesn't show off with it. He's just got it. He's got it going on.
Wears it well. As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran, driven down the ground by Ravi Bopara. He'll pick up a single. Bopara moves on to 12, just setting himself up here is Ravi Bopara. 108 for 4, working out his angles. And I like a nice fit these days, if that makes sense, Mr. Walker. Nice. I like the comfy fit of everything.
I think we're at that stage, aren't we?
As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran once again. Tenderskafter waits for this, flat bats it to backward point. That was travelling. Jade Dernbach's got something on it. They'll come back for 2. It's great running. He absolutely laced that off the front foot, Tenderskafter. Like an axeman there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did well to stop it really, Dernbach. Keep it down to a couple.
Tenderskafter moves on to 40, 110 for 4. Someone seeing that shot, someone was telling me a lovely quote from Mike Salvey in Robin Smith's book, talking about Robin Smith's book.
Have you read it?
I haven't yet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, but Mike Salvey was saying if he was ever to be executed, he'd want Robin Smith's square cut to do the job. As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran. This is uppercut. 2 bounces down to Imran Tahir to do the fielding, and the throw comes in, and one more to Tenderskafter. He's on to 41, 111 for 4. So at the moment the field is sweeper on the cover rope, then the third man backward point.
It's good field to the left arm over, isn't it?
Slipping here on the edge of the circle as Sam Curran comes in over the wicket to Bopara, drives, gets it away down to Imran Tahir, picks up a single. It's a catching position that Aaron Finch is in because he stood on the edge of the circle with his hands on his knees. So a la slip for Sam Curran. Tenderskafter comes back onto strike again.
Talking of nonchalant fielders, did you see Jofra in the Test match with his jumper around his waist?
Jofra is an extraordinary individual in
Isn't he
many ways. Sam Curran, left arm over the wicket. Tenderskafter drives.
2 there.
Yep, and they'll get 2 because Will Jacks has to come round to his right to do the fielding in front of Lee Fortis's hut down there in the distance. And
that'd be a good short story.
2 more to the total.
Lee Fortis's hut.
It would be. 114 for 4. On to strike comes Tenderskafter again. Of course, with the ball going across him, I'm just with fine leg on the edge of the circle and there. Might try something clever here, Tenderskafter. Yeah, he's gone across his stumps looking to go over fine leg. They think he's got something on that. Folkes goes up. I just thought he might do that. Fine leg on the edge of the circle. He's jumped outside his off stump and looked to just ramp it over short fine leg. Got nothing on it. End of the over. 5 left. 114 for 4.
He'll be cranky, Ryan Tenderskafter, at the end of that over because that was there for the leg side shovel. Just a tiny flick of the pad, so he doesn't even get a wide for it. It's one of these funny innings where you don't quite know what to make of it just yet. Essex could have a good last quarter and take it up to 170, 180, but they need to get going and get going quickly here. Jade Dernbach still has 2 in the locker for himself. He's only gone for 10 so far, so I'm sure he will bowl himself out. Jordan Clark is back into the attack here from the Vauxhall end. Big, beefy beefcake of a cricketer, Jordan Clark, and having gone the distance first delivery, came back really well in that first over, getting rid of Dan Lawrence. And
he's been slightly unfortunate in the competition. He's had lots of catches. At Glamorgan, he had 3 dropped off him. He could have easily ended up with 5 in the game.
He's a powder keg of a cricketer, really, Jordan Clark. He can explode at any point. He's in again. This one is short and in the slot, and Ravi hits it hard, but into the onside where Ryan Patel is able to make his ground, and Ravi dives and he just gets in. Coming back for a second, it was a throw to the keeper's end, Ravi Patel right over the stumps, one bounce, and folks demolishes the timbers, but Bopara sliding on his front is able to get in.
He had to put the dive in, Ravi.
I'm not judging these very well, Mark, because I thought he was struggling again on that one.
But he was watching it over his shoulder and then suddenly had to get his skates on there.
This is the man, this is the package, I'm afraid. This is what you've got to expect. He knew he was in. 15 not out, Ravi. He's just getting going here, you feel. Jordan Clark, this one is short, 4. Edgy, but a useful boundary. Bopara's first, and that runs away past fine of the man on the offside 45. It was there to hit, to cuff away, and he didn't want it that fine, but he'll certainly take it, Ravi. Bopara, Essex 120 for 4.
Oh, that's a good shot. He's taken that off the top of middle stump. I think in his head he's thought, well, if I edge this, it's going to take some catching from Folkes or Batty. But actually, he's got a lot of bat on that and taking it off the top of his middle stump.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's played that kind of style, Ravi. He likes it down there. This one is a rather ugly hoik, unbefitting of the man in truth, and he just gets a single into the onside. Brings Tender Charter, who's raced on to 43 without really breaking sweat just yet. Brings him on to strike with 4 overs and 3 deliveries to go.
He's such an intelligent batsman. 34 balls, 2 4s, 2 6s.
Clark bustling in, full leg side, single. He runs hard, he might be turning for a second. No, they settle for 1, probably the right decision. In fact, he'd have been gone there for 3 or 4 yards if he turned on that one. So it just brings Bopara back on to strike. 20 to Ravi Bopara. Essex 1-2-2 for 4, and they are jostling for position here, I would say. 4.2 to go. Business end of this innings. Played nicely by Bopara, but straight to the man at extra cover, who shies at the stumps down by the keeper's end. Tender Charter was in comfortably anyway, but he didn't quite manage to hit that direct hit. Jade Dernback at extra cover right on the edge of the circle, so just another single, but well bowled there by Jordan Clark, who's coming back well again in this over. Just 1 delivery to go in it. Powering in again. This one is full, on the full, and Tender Charter tries to hit this one over the boundary, but I'm afraid he can only rather cloth it off the outside edge, and Mark Church is making some wild swings to my left and trying to ape, I think, the club captain of Essex.
It's just that inside out, isn't it? Inside out, like a knife going through butter.
He is ticking on nicely here.
Straight away, as we said, busy, straight away.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way he plays his cricket. Now, Ryan Patel will get an over in here as well. I'm just looking, Jade Dernback will bowl the last couple from probably the Vauxhall end. Sam Curran's still got 1 up his sleeve, so he's got to find an over from somewhere, and he's going Ryan Patel. So Ryan Patel, he's only bowled 2.3 overs off the top of my head in the competition this season.
I saw him practicing earlier.
Yeah, 2.3 overs, none for 26.
Yeah, he was practicing his all sorts, the back of the handers and the cutters and so on. There's no kind of pace with Ryan Patel, but that might be what Surrey are looking for at this stage.
Might well be, but in Tender Charter and Bopara's mind, they'll think this might be the over. As round the wicket comes Patel, and that's wide and driven from outside the off stump for 4. He's just thrown the hands at that. And on to 49.
It was a great shot.
It was, lovely shot, because there was no pace on it, but he's absolutely nailed it. 128 for 4. There's the gentleman in the best seats in the house. He's eating his pizza. He's on the big screen as well. There's no escaping. And there's the gentleman looking at his phone at the moment, in the best seats in the house as well.
Are they friends, those two?
I hope so. Well, they probably are now, aren't they? As in round the wicket comes Ryan Patel again, and Tender Charter swings him down the ground. Will get his 50. Been a good innings this, as always, from this gentleman. That'll be 38 balls with 3 4s and 2 6s. So very good work as always. And I did say when
Crucial.
he came in, until he disappears, Surrey will not think this innings is done at all, even with those wickets up top. As down there in the distance is Ryan Patel, and 38 balls then for that 50.
Ravi Bopara waits for Ryan Patel, very wide outside the off stump, and Ravi Bopara is trying to give himself room. This is what he set the field for. Come round the wicket and go wide, so they go through the offside. Now Tenduscarter was good enough with that first ball to thump it through the covers for 4. Ravi Bopara there almost fell over trying to reach that one.
Yeah, it was quite well bowled really. He's obviously bowling to this field right arm round, so coming on that angle, directing it across the right-hander to a 5-4 offside field. He's doing it okay here.
And again, here's Ravi Bopara. Tenduscarter slamming this one from Ryan Patel down the ground for another single. One more to the total. Okay, that from Ryan Patel. I think Jade Dernbach will be fairly happy with this at the moment from Ryan Patel. This is he's finding an over here from Ryan Patel.
Big couple of deliveries.
What does Bopara do here? He knows where Ryan Patel's going to go, so Bopara just opens the face, guides it off down towards third man. There's Imran Tahir coming up to do the fielding. Throw comes into the gloves of Ben Folkes, and they'll pick up another single. So one more ball of the Ryan Patel over to go. He's gone for 8. Boundary off the first ball, so he's come back very well. But Ryan Tenduscarter will be thinking to himself, I'm going after this one. He knows also where he's going to bowl it. How does he get himself across those stumps? There he goes, steps right outside his off stump, but it's well bowled again by Ryan Patel. Got it up there in the block hole. They'd only get a couple. That's not a bad over at all from Ryan Patel. Jade Dernbach will be happy with that one, because Dernbach can now bowl 2 from the Vauxhall end. Sam Curran will bowl 1 more from the Pavilion end. End of the over, 17 gone, 134 for 4, Phil Walker.
Yeah, well done there, really good captaincy to back his man right at the death. And he's done exactly what was asked of him there, Ryan Patel. He set his field and he hit his lengths, and he becalmed the Essex batsmen. They just took 9 from that over. He'll take that every day of the week at this stage. 134 for 4, 18 deliveries to go in this innings. We've said it already, but Essex are a bowling side, so they will feel like they're in the game with 160, 170. They'll massively feel like they're in the game with 175, 80. And with Bopara and Tenduscarter in, anything is possible at this stage. Dernbach to bowl the last 2. This one is short, and Ravi clips this beautifully behind square. 1-2, 1 bounce for. Classily done, where Dan Lawrence was unable to get that kind of elevation and that snap in the shot. Ravi Bopara was able to get enough power on that short, deliberately slower short delivery by Jade Dernbach, and that's exactly the start that Essex need as they go into this business end. 17 deliveries to go, 138 for 4, and they're moving towards a target that they can certainly feel like they can defend here.
Serviceable, definitely. On Tuesday night, Somerset and Surrey chased it down with time to spare, 157 for 9.
Bopara settles in again, that bat hovering over off stump. Dernbach, and this one is shortish and just a single, well bowled into the offside. Bopara ambles to the non-striker's end. He's comfortable with his work as things stand. Brings Tenduscarter back on strike, who's already posted his 50, of course, 53 with a couple of maximums. Yeah, this innings is on a knife edge at the moment, and Dernbach has seen it all before. He turns at the top of his mark, that diminutive style again, and he's in. And another beautiful slower ball, and how was that missed a leg stump? Tenduscarter moving outside his lines, looking to give himself room, and he's bamboozled, done all ends up.
It's a lovely piece of bowling.
Yeah, I see you like that one, Mark.
Yeah, well, it's turned.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. The problem he's got there is that started on middle and's gone past leg stump. I think it's his offie. He does bowl the genuine where he fingers over the ball and he rips it. And I think
he was one of the first.
Probably turned too much.
He was one of the first English seamers to really experiment, to live a little in this kind of cricket, Jade Dernbach, and it's paid dividends over the years. This one is rather in the slot, but it's slapped only with 50% power really by Tenduscarter, so just a single. 3 men, of course, now right on the boundary, out there on the onside, and Tenduscarter's a bit cranky with himself there. Just 1 single from his previous 2 deliveries. Yeah, he got a bit of stick, didn't he, Dernbach, when he was playing for England? it wasn't a great time for England's one-day side, but he was daring to experiment before a lot of bowlers had thought outside the box. He deserves a lot of credit for that, I think. You see them all do it now, of course. Short, hit hard, flat, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 bounces straight back towards us here in the commentary box. And Ravi Bopara is starting to play here. He wasn't quite there for the shot, but he stayed in it, kept his shape, and slapped it with a three-quarter bat, really, over the umpire, over the bowler, and down towards us here in the Vauxhall end. Ryan Patel having just managed to find the ball underneath, I think, underneath the covers just down there in front of us. And a much-needed boundary, 32 now to Ravi Bopara. He's in again. Jay Domack, what's he got this time? Fullish, whacked four. Wow. What a shot, perhaps the shot of the day. He's starting to roll. It was a low full toss, but it still took some hitting. And those beautiful wrists of Ravi Bopara really snapping through the ball, kind of ripping across it almost like a kind of backhand smash and lacing it through the offside. Man on the boundary, only had 10 yards to move, didn't even bother. Just pick it up and throw it back.
I was going to say, one of the loveliest things I always think is here, test match ground, wonderful ground of course, but that lovely village cricket moment where Ryan Patel had to crawl under the covers to get our ball back for this game. So even at a test match ground, still have to clamber under the covers to get your ball back. So it'll be Sam Curran to bowl our final over from the Pavilion end. One more to go from the Vauxhall end, 19th over. And the field's going to be a deep mid-wicket, which is Ollie Pope. Long on, long off. Sweeper at extra cover. First ball's a full toss. Slapped by Tendusgarter out towards backward point. Eyes will go straight towards umpire Pollard to see whether that's waist high or not. He decides it isn't, and they'll just get a single.
Missed out there. That was in the slot. A full one right in his arc. Only really cloth it to the man behind square on the offside, just a single.
I've always thought the big screens is a brilliant concept. It's a strange one, isn't it, that when you're on it, you sort of end up waving to yourself, don't you? As in over the wicket comes Sam Curran. Oh! It's a full toss on the leg side, and Caribbean-esque Ravi Bopara off his hip with his front leg in the air, has whipped it for 6, and it's a no ball, and it's a free hit, and it's one for the photographers. That I hope someone's got a photo of that from Ravi Bopara as he hit it. He's on to 42, and it's 157 for 4.
I've seen 2 balls clear this arena. Jason Roy over straightish mid-wicket, and Marlon Samuels playing a very, very similar shot that went down that road towards the Tesco's. Ravi Bopara nearly eclipsed them.
In over the wicket comes Sam Curran, and this is swung by Bopara down the ground towards long on. They're going to come back for 2, and it's good running. 2 more to the total, 159 for 4. It was such a romantic description there until you said it went down the road to Tesco's. Aaron Finch actually on Tuesday night stuck one out the ground.
Past the dilapidated old pub there.
Down the road.
To Tesco.
Aaron Finch did stick one out the ground on Tuesday night, straight over the Peter May stand.
Did he now?
Yes, as in over the wicket comes Sam Curran once again to Bopara, who's swinging another full toss down the ground, toe end of the bat. Ryan Patel won't get to that. They're going to come back for 2. 2 more to the total. 2 more to Ravi Bopara. Bopara moves on to 46, 161 for 4. Bopara and Tendusgarter have done a brilliant job here. Came together at 69 for 4 in the 10th over, and they've got Essex up to 161 for 4 in the 19th over.
He's batting outside, he's off stump now, Bopara.
As in comes Sam Curran, uppercut from Bopara. Imran Tahir at third man has misjudged it horribly and put it down, and they'll get just a single. No, they'll get 2. But he never looked comfy under that, Imran Tahir, and Bopara picks up a couple of runs, and they look exhausted, Bopara and Tendusgarter, having to run these runs so hard with the big boundaries, but he never looked comfy under that, Imran Tahir. And 2 more to the total, little pat on the backside from Jade Dernbat to Sam Curran. Big over this for Essex. 163 for 4. Still a couple of balls to go because we had the no ball that went out the ground almost. Sam Curran bustles in once again to Bapara. Bapara swings him leg side. Ollie Poe won't get to that. It's a brilliant effort from Ollie Poe, but it's gone for 6. And Ravi Bapara brings up a quite brilliant 50 in the grandest of manners. Tremendous 50 this from Ravinder Bapara. He's on to 54. It's 169 for 4.
Yeah, the chicken's on Ravi tonight. Head down to East Ham, folks. That's where the action's at. Superb, and 100 partnership as well between these two. They came together 9.2 overs in, so less than 10 overs, and they've already posted a ton. Exceptional.
So Curran's it again. Bapara swings again. One bounce out towards extra cover. And this is a huge over for Essex, and it's all Ravi Bapara. Tenderscott has not faced a ball in that over. 170 for 4, 22 off the Sam Curran over, and all of them Ravi Bapara. And it's 1 over to go, 170 for 4. Bapara's 50, 29 balls with 4 4s and 2 6s.
Yeah, the boy is class. He has all the ability and then some. 31 T20 50s now, and that 100. Announced himself a few years ago with a double 100 in 50 over cricket as well. He can go very, very big in limited overs cricket. And we've seen it again this evening. He's coming into form at just the right time for Essex, and after a rather stop-start innings, they now got 6 deliveries and they're already on 170. If they can get maybe double figures off this over, they will stroll off. Dernback, of course, it will be from the Vauxhall end. Oh, and a dot first ball. Brilliant stuff by the skipper. Applause by Mark Church.
Which were brilliantly
impartial
executed.
as ever.
Well, no, I'm applauding. There's a bloke who's just taken 20 off 1 over from Sam Curran, seeing it like a beach ball, and Jade Dernbat's got the guts to bowl a slower ball that Ravi Bapara was through so early. Tremendous piece of bowling that from Jade Dernbat.
Brilliant as ever, just running his fingers across the left side of the ball, cutting any pace off from it. This one is full, and Ravi goes big and then some. Whoa! 10 rows back, folks. Careering over Jordan Clark's head. Put down again, I think, in the crowd. Oh, you poor sod. That's another grand down the Swanee. Welcome to London, sir.
Wow, that's
what a shot that is.
Big hit, that's a massive hit because the boundaries are out.
It was in the slot. It was a slower ball that Bapara read. However, you still have to snap that shot, and that's a good 85, 90 metres, I would say. Carried well back.
Aaron Finch would have been pleased with that one. That went miles off the bat of Ravi Bapara.
Yeah, 176 for 4, and they're bringing long off up now. Still 3 men out, of course, on the onside. In again, Shortish tries the little cheeky ramp shot, and I think it actually comes off maybe his shoulder or the outside of the bat, but just a single, and Bapara is frustrated to be off strike. It was, in fact, off the edge of the bat. He didn't get much of it. You can't help wondering when he hits it as clean and as pure as that, why that was strictly necessary when a man was back at third man anyway. It would have only been a single, as indeed it was. Still, 177 for 4, 3 to go. RTD back on strike, 55. Bapara's overtaken him now on 62, and here it is. The Surrey skipper, 3 to go. Dot ball, in fact, no, they are running through. It's a bye through to the keeper. Again, well bowled, just running the fingers down the side of the ball by Jade Dernback, and just beating the Essex club captain all ends up. But they do scamper a bye through to Ben Folkes, who misses the shy at the stumps, although I think Bapara was probably in already, and just a couple of balls to go here. 178 for 4. What can Essex get? Dernback turns again, hiding the ball in his hand. And here it is, short, hit, high, long, and all the way. Yet again, Bapara just turns away from it. Doesn't even look at where that one's landed. As soon as he freed his arms, he knew. And he just nonchalantly strolls away to square leg. That was short. Again, he's anticipating it now, Bapara. He's fully in the groove. And he climbs into it. Clears Ryan Patel at long on comfortably again. These are big hits. These are big hits by Bapara.
Massive couple of overs these, aren't they?
68 now. Brilliant stuff by the boy.
36 now off the last couple of overs with a ball to go.
184 for 4. Dernbach, final delivery of the innings. What is it going to be? It's full. Bapara through extra cover and bursting through the fielder's hands. It's only a single. In fact, no, they will come back for a second and Bapara will make his ground comfortably in the end. So he finishes with a single, with 2 in fact. Takes himself onto 70 and Essex onto 186 for 4. Considering RTD and Bapara came together at 69 for 4 in the 10th, that is a very, very good effort indeed by the travelling side. 186 for 4. Tom Wesley 30. Cameron Delport didn't get going, just 2. Adam Wheater just a single. Dan Lawrence looked good for his 18, but then he brought these 2 together with his dismissal and they have played quite brilliantly. Dernbach got a bit of tap towards the end and he went for 29 from his final 2 overs, having just gone for 10 in his first 2. Tahir bowled nicely up top, as you'd come to expect. It's a good track, you can certainly play through the line, and didn't Bapara do well towards the end there. Essex were behind the 8 ball for much of it, but now they will feel 186 for 4. The runs are on the board.
And you won't be surprised to know that's a record 5th wicket partnership
Yeah.
for Essex against Surrey in T20 cricket of 117. But outstanding batting from Ravi Bapara. Some massive shots from Ravi Bapara tonight. He 70 not out, Ryan Tendercarter 55 not out. We'll have a 5-minute break. We'll be back with you in 5 minutes for the Surrey run chase. They're going to need 187. Well, a very warm welcome back to the Kia Oval here on BBC Radio London. Break is over and Surrey will need 187 to win this because Essex have posted a very, very competitive 186 for fourth. Thanks in the main to a quite brilliant fifth wicket stand between Ryan Tendusgarter and Ravi Bopara. Ryan Tendusgarter 55 not out, Bopara 70 not out. And they got that score up to 186 for four with some, well, mainly from Bopara, you have to say, some quite fantastic stroke play. 70 from 35 balls, 4 fours, 4 sixes. Tendusgarter 55 from 44 balls, 3 fours, 2 sixes. Phil Walker, editor of Wisden Cricket Monthly, is alongside for the second half as he was for the first half. And this will be interesting because there's a certain Aaron Finch coming off the back of 102 not out on Tuesday night. Surrey will have to bat well tonight, though, I think, to get to this 187.
Indeed, and it's going to be Mohammed Amir coming down from the from the pavilion end down to, it is going to be in fact Finch to face first ball. So you're talking about two world-class one-day cricketers here. There is a lot of quality in this game. You just run through the two sides. Most have played international cricket at one level or another. There are quite a few in there who will play international cricket. I'm looking at Will Jacks in particular. And there is real pedigree from top to bottom, but none more so than these two right here. And Mohammed Amir, newly retired, of course, from first-class cricket, which is a great shame. He will be getting us going. I'm going to take this one from the top, pavilion end this time. This one is bang on the money, first up, and driven solidly by Finch straight up to mid-on, no run. Already just a hint of a little bit of shape coming back into that right-hander with the new white ball. That is, of course, Mohammed Amir's calling card, if you like. So what have we got? We've got a third man, of course, got a deep square just in front of square on the onside. You've got a ring on the offside, 4 men inside that, and you have Tom Wesley, an excellent slip fielder. He is in there at 1.5 slip. He's in again, the left armour. Oh, beautifully bowled right into the pads, but if anything, it's done too much. Beat the Surrey man, all ends up though, and it cannons into his front pad and runs down to third man. So Surrey are at least off the mark, but Aaron Finch remains on naught and probably quite thankful to be at now the non-strikers end because that one hooped.
Well, he likes it here as well, does Mohammed Amir. Always performs well at this ground, be it in international cricket or domestic cricket. He'll be very encouraged to see the ball swinging.
Indeed, and the lights, of course, just taking effect now. A dusky late summer evening here at the Oval, and this one beats him. Beautifully bowled, and Mark Stoneman plays the line, doesn't follow it in his defence. He's done quite well, really, to just play inside the line, but a beautiful delivery. And Adam Wheater, the keeper, is standing a fair way back here. A good pitch length, I would say. Maybe a yard or two shy of a pitch length, but Mo Amir is going to be zipping this one through, and as Mark Church quite rightly says, he loves it here. Bowled that decisive spell here 2 years ago, of course, to win Pakistan the Champions Trophy. Oh, here we go, and he's taking selfies now, Mr. Church. You see, he's just like the rest of us, folks. This one is nicely played by Mark Stoneman, and he's off the mark, driving with a straight bat off the back foot. Tricky shot to play into the gap, straightish and mid-on. The skipper, Simon Harmer, comes round, fields quite easily, but Stoneman is off the mark. And Surrey 2 for no loss after 4. And Mo Amir is just getting going here. Aaron Finch surveys the offside, slaps that big bat of his back into the turf. He's always a batsman who looks like he means business, and he settles into his stance here, and he's nicked it past the man. That would have been perfect for second slip. I think he might have been trying to play that straightish or maybe even turn it into the onside, but you don't play tricks with Mohammed Amir with a new ball in his hands, and he's turned him around. Just looking again, yeah, he's tried to turn that into the onside and got a thickish leading edge, and it flew at very catchable height past where second slip would have been, down for a single. 3 for no loss. Excellent start here by Essex's gun left arm seamer. As good as it gets in world cricket with a white ball. He's in again. This one is left respectfully outside off stump by Mark Stoneman. Quite right too. southpaw to southpaw, and Mark Stoneman just leans on his bat and lets that one go past. So, a good start by Essex. I imagine they'll be throwing the ball to Jamie Porter from the Vauxhall end, but we shall see. They also have Paul Walter, the left-arm giant in the side, who bowls, well, I mean, you can't not bowl a heavy ball if you're 7 foot and a bit. And obviously, as we've mentioned, Simon Harmer, one of the great off-spinners in the world. I interviewed him actually a few weeks ago, and he described himself as the best off-spinner in the world. It's rare for a cricketer to call it as he really sees it about himself. So,
fair play to
but
him. He's
exactly,
an outstanding bowler. He really is.
And his record suggests that he's not far off that assessment. It is going to be Jamie Porter. All over to you, Mark.
He'll get this to swing as well, I would have thought. As in over the wicket he comes to Aaron Finch, who picks it up off his pads, whips it leg side. They'll pick up one. And the throw comes in. Lights are taking hold now. Spectacular sight as always. 4 without loss. Yeah, I would have thought on that Surrey balcony they'll be thinking, thank goodness Amir can only bowl 4. 4 without loss.
Yeah, I think they'll give him one more and then hold him back. That's what they did against Sussex last week and Hampshire over the weekend. I think that's the model now. He bowls the 2 tricky ones up top and the 2 tricky ones at the end. And they'll try and squeeze during the middle.
Waits again. Then Mark Stoneman slip in there. Deep mid wicket for man. Porter is into Stoneman. Stoneman whips leg side. Will just take a single out to Walter. And 5 without loss. Stoneman moves on to 2. Aaron Finch comes back onto strike once again. Ravi Bopara, a wonderful innings from him tonight. So we're going to have to do this tough this evening. Mohamed Amir getting the ball to swing. Jamie Porter on a line and length straight away as over the wicket comes Porter. And this is Aaron Finch. Inside out, over long off for 6. Aaron Finch has hardly touched that, and it has soared for 6. He's jumped outside his leg stump and gone inside out, but he's hardly touched this, Aaron Finch, and it has soared into the night sky for 6. Finch's first maximum. His eyes in. He's on to 8. It's 11 without loss.
Yeah, that is an extraordinary shot, really, because it's a chip. It's a pitch, really. And it's carried comfortably over long off 10 rows back.
Porter's in again to Finch. Finch loses his shape on this one, tried to absolutely smash it through the covers, and that's rolled up towards mid-on. Yeah, Aaron Finch has felt that. He's just swinging his right arm now. He really threw everything at that, did Aaron Finch. And just looking, this is Jamie Porter's first game of the comp.
Yep.
So Porter's first game of the comp.
A late addition as well on the scorecard. Aaron Beard was down to play in this one, but they've just gone with the extra experience.
He's in, and this is a slower one that's just helped off his hip by Aaron Finch for 4. So it's just drifted onto the hip of Aaron Finch. Doesn't have to try and hit that. He can just help it. Aaron Finch. Pyrotechnics have started down below us, warming up the commentary box. You can really feel that singeing the eyebrows. 15 without loss. Finch on to 12. But yes, I should have mentioned that. I do apologise, but Jamie Porter's first game of the comp.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's an old-fashioned English seamer, isn't he? He's a lethal bowler with a red ball hitting the top of off stump, but maybe doesn't have the variety.
This is driven in the air and gone. Finch has gone, caught by Simon Harmer. And Finch went outside that leg stump again, but didn't get all of it. And Simon Harmer, good catch to his left. The captain flings himself to his left on the edge of the circle, and Aaron Finch has gone for 12. Big wicket.
Huge.
And Jamie Porter has it, and Surrey are 15 for 1.
Huge moment. Jamie Porter kept his cool. Full. To be honest, it was in the slot, and Aaron Finch gave it the full works. He didn't quite get enough of it, but I tell you what, anything in Simon Harmer's area and he will snaffle it. He has got bucket hands. He's a brilliant fielder, either in at second slip or short on the offside. He took a stunner, an absolute screamer last week against Sussex to see that one home. And he's taken another good one there. Diving to his left, took it 2 hands, and there's never any doubt. When I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, it's always an emasculating experience shaking hands with a cricketer, as you will well know, Mark, but my word, Simon Harmer's hands are enormous.
Well, that's probably why he gets so much purchase when he spins the ball, isn't
That's
it?
it.
Because he's got such big hands. And you know what they say, Philip? Big hands,
big heart,
big tweaking.
big heart.
That's what they say.
It's going to be Mohamed Amir. I tell you what, Jamie Porter will be skipping to third man, having got away with that over. Here he is this time. Oh, well played by Mark Stoneman, and that has beaten the man on the onside. 2 bounces into the rope. Nicely done, flicked off his pads, and that runs away nicely, timed excellently by the left-hander. It was there to hit by Mo Amir. His first adequate delivery, really, merely adequate, having bowled in its supreme first over, and Mark Stoneman will be feeling a lot better about life now, having got that one away. 19 for 1 into the third. Slight change of the field again, bringing another man into the onside, so now 4 men on the onside. Slip's gone out, and he's in again, screaming in this time, Mohamed Amir, and this one is bang on the money, but it's worked nicely by Stoneman into the onside for a single. He's off, scampering down towards the pavilion end, and it will bring the new man Sam Curran, who's now ensconced at number 3 in this Surrey T20 side, and he's gone well overall in the tournament. Started brilliantly, a couple of 50s and a 40. A little bit quieter in recent weeks, but he is, of course, perhaps the most talented, naturally talented young cricketer in England, and on his day, as we've seen already in the test version of the game, he is lethal. Mohamed Amir, left arm over, dipping and then accelerating into the crease, no run, jabbed into the offside by Sam Curran.
Yeah, just to give you Sam Curran's stats this season, this is 8th game in the comp, 222 runs, a couple of 50s in there, averaging 37, strike rate of 146. Rory Burns, still with the best strike rate for
You
Surrey.
do like that, don't you?
Love that. 180 Burns is striking at. He's only played the 1 innings, mind, against Essex, 47 not out, but striking at 180.
You can't quibble with that. Mo Amir in again, darting wide of the crease this time, and that's excellently bowled, maybe slightly taken the pace off, and it can just be dropped at his feet by Sam Curran, no run. So a couple of deliveries to the new man and 2 dots. He won't be feeling it yet, Sam Curran, but this is exactly what Essex are trying to do. They're going to try and keep him in his box, because he's as expressive a player as there is in the English game when he gets going. Just remarks his guard, settles into his stance. No one square on the offside. He'll be eyeing up that spot, but you can't do much with that one. Blocking it off the back foot to Ravi Bopara at short extra. Another dot ball.
It's good bowling, isn't it?
Excellent stuff by Mo Amir.
Very good bowling. The other one that will be interesting here is that man on the screen at the moment, Ben Foakes.
Yep, he'll be in at 5 probably.
Yeah,
I think.
they've left him a bit late in the competition this season. In one game, extraordinarily, at Middlesex, at Lords, he didn't get out there until the game was over.
They don't really see him as a power hitter so much as
But I wonder
an engineer of
in
an
these
innings.
circumstances here against this bloke, and the way that he's going about it, I know he'll probably come out the attack after this one, but a bit of knocking it around at this stage might be the way forward for Surrey.
Mohamed Amir in again, short, ducked, excellent stuff. Mixing it up, that was quick as well. He's got real zip tonight. And another dot ball, that's 4 dots in a row for Sam Curran, who remains on naught. Surrey 20 for 1 after 3. Aaron Finch the man to go. Slapping a half volley from Jamie Porter straight to the skipper, Simon Harmer, at mid-off.
Yeah, I've got a theory on that. I think that Aaron Finch, we saw him after he threw everything after it, the ball before, whirling his right shoulder.
Yeah.
I just wonder if he felt that. As he played the shot, I just wonder if he felt that and didn't quite give it everything. And that enabled Harmer to get across to take the catch, because it just, the previous delivery, he'd hit that 6, and then he tried a massive drive through the covers and just felt that shoulder. So I just wonder if that hindered him a touch. Mark Stoneman, the man on strike. Jamie Porter to bowl our 4th over here on BBC Radio London, under the night sky with Phil Walker. As round the wicket comes Jamie Porter, and this one slung into the leg side by Stoneman. Got to get his skates on with the throw from Harmer, and he's home. Throw doesn't hit. Harmer, those big hands, gets the ball away quickly. 21 for 1, and on to strike comes Sam Curran. So yeah, it's a great atmosphere inside the ground tonight. Really has built up as the game goes on, and people still waving to themselves on the big screen. It's a strange old thing, that, isn't it?
What do you do though?
It's it's a modern thing, isn't it? Really, there you are. Just wave to yourself on the big screen. It's round the wicket comes Porter. Oh, Sam Curran down the ground. Lovely swing of the bat. Just chips it deliberately over Ryan Tenduscarter on the edge of the circle at mid-off. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Just chipped it down the ground away for 4. Sam Curran off the mark with a boundary, and Surrey are 25 for 1.
This is what we're saying about Jamie Porter. In a 4-day game on a Wednesday morning, that's a pretty good delivery. It's hit a length, it's hit the seam. But in this kind of cricket, that kind of length, medium fast, nothing more than that in the opening 6, and you're going to go downtown, and that's just the nature of it. It's why he hasn't played too much one-day cricket for Essex. It's why they see him as a 4-day cricketer, and he is an outstanding 4-day bowler. But in this kind of form, you feel like he's getting away with it a little bit.
Round the wicket he comes, Sam Curran short. Oh, Sam Curran pulling off the front foot, straight down the ground again. 1 bounce for 4. So Sam Curran has chipped one down the ground for 4 and then pulled one straight down the ground in the same place for 4 more. Sam Curran moves on to 8, 29 for 1.
Yeah, he just got enough of it. It looked very top edgy initially. He slapped right across it. He's not really in position to play. He's got no right really to muscle that one downtown over mid-off, but he's managed to get enough of it. Plenty enough really. And he's away.
Yeah, Tenduscarter looked behind him and just kept looking up. But actually, to be fair, he got a lot of that. Did Sam Curran. It's 1 bounce for 4.
It's going to be a good game this, Mark Church.
It will be. 29 for 1. Round the wicket comes Jamie Porter once again. Sam Curran, who's swinging. Oh, and he's top edged this, and it just loops over the top of Porter. Good bit of bowling that from Jamie Porter. Just got onto Sam Curran a little bit quicker than he thought, and just hurried him up a touch, and it's looped back over Porter's head. Because Sam Curran was eyeing up the Cricketers pub away to our left-hand side, not sadly no longer in use.
I want to buy that one day.
Well, what would you do with it?
Well, I'd have to avoid the asbestos to begin with.
Well, as round the wicket once again comes Porter. Short one. Oh, and Sam Curran's through this one a bit early. It's going to land, is it? Oh, what a catch! Ravi Bopara, behave, Ravi. Ravi Bopara has just sprinted back after making 70 with the bat and has just taken a brilliant catch over his shoulder, sliding back. What an evening Mr. Bopara is having. 29 for 2. Sam Curran's gone for 8.
Yeah, that's an excellent catch. Could have been a collision as well. Paul Walter was coming in from the boundary. I think it was him. And Ravi was heading back out from the ring. Ball over his shoulder, and he takes it with all due nonchalance. But that was a very, very tricky catch indeed. Sliding on his knees, and then picking himself up, strolling back to his teammates. Huge wicket. Sam Curran has gone, and it brings the golden boy, Ollie Pope, to the fray.
Yep, and he's out there early, Ollie Pope. He's got some overs to bat now. That was a very, very good catch. What was very good about that was he was taking it sliding as well. Judged it to perfection.
There's also, through the corner of your eye, there is that other man coming in as well. It's impossible to avoid that.
Absolutely, but it was nonchalant, wasn't it? Eminently droppable, that, from Ravi Bopara. Made it look pretty easy, actually.
Like he does everything.
Well, everything. 29 for 2. I wonder if there's ever been anything he hasn't made look easy.
Well, certainly running a chicken shop is a doddle for him as well. So his old man runs it, right? So his dad's front of house, and his little brother, who I've played cricket against actually, he's like a mini Matryoshka doll Ravi Bopara. Like, he's perfect.
Round the wicket once again then is Porter, hooked by Stoneman, will go! Porter's on a hat-trick. Stoneman's whipped it straight off his hip, down the throat of Paul Walter. And Porter, I think that's the end of the over, so his next delivery he'll be on a hat-trick. Mark Stoneman can't quite believe he's just done that. He's just helped it on its way straight down the throat of Paul Walter. 2 in 2 for Porter. Surrey in tatters. 29 for 3, Phil Walker.
Yeah, well, you say they're in tatters. It's not dissimilar to what happened with Essex in the first 6 as well. They were 40 for 3. Surrey are now 29 for 3. But Jamie Porter, take a bow. I mean, I was jumping in on him after 2 or 3 balls of this over. He finishes it on a hat-trick, having removed 2 England level left-handers. The thing with Surrey, they do bat reasonably deep. Jordan Clark is in at 7. Ben Folkes is now into the fray, and Will Jacks will be following him at 6. So Surrey are not out of this one just yet. However, Essex are doing it well. They're holding their catches. And Jamie Porter, out of nowhere, has picked up a threefer.
Where's he been? The whole campaign. Look at him. Couple of wickets on a hat-trick. Well, I think actually, I know Surrey would dearly love not to lose 3 wickets in the first 4 overs.
Sure.
This is what I meant about Ben Folkes. Good man to have coming in at this stage, because he'll just try and calm everything down. Will Ben Folkes, intelligent cricketer.
Yep.
Ben Folkes.
And while it's a tricky target, obviously, it's not an out of sight target, so they can afford to play quiet cricket for a couple of overs, get themselves in, and then have a real dart in the second half of this innings. But the wickets is a problem. 3 down inside the first 4 overs. Surrey up against it at this stage. Ben Folkes just going through the various routines, getting the blood pumping through the body. And Ollie Pope it will be to face Adam Zampa. Yeah.
Has he got the headband?
Yeah, the human headband, yeah.
There he is.
It's on, of course it is.
Lovely.
He's good to watch though, Adam Zampa. An energetic, bouncy kind of leg spinner. He knows his way around one-day cricket. Played a lot of international cricket as well for Australia at this kind of level, at this format. And he doesn't bowl many drag downs or full ones. He's a very, very accurate leg spinner, and this one is true to form, bang on the money. Ollie Pope down the pitch already though, gets it on the half volley and shovels it into the onside for a single.
I know you're always looking, you don't need them, but inspirational ideas for articles.
Go for it.
Headbanded cricketers.
Oh, I did it.
Brooks, have you done it already?
Did it years ago, yeah.
Oh, surely it could be resurrected, can't it?
Well, there's nothing that hasn't already been done. Everything's derivative anyway, so I may as well just do it again.
Brooks and Zampa, front cover.
Yeah.
Oh,
lovely. He's in again. This one is shortish. I forgot it was me for a moment, Mark. I was lost in a reverie, and this one is shoveled into the onside, and Ben Folkes is off the mark.
You were
to his
thinking
first
of
delivery.
other headbanded
I was
cricketers.
thinking about Desmond Haynes.
D. Haynes, G. Thorpe,
Yes.
went through a stage.
Difference is that Haynes used to wear his without a helmet or a cap.
But
Now
exactly,
that is punchy.
that is classic.
That is punchy work. Zampa from the far end, pavilion end as we're looking at it, and this one is shortish and cut away, and he'll pick up at least a couple into the offside rather. Ollie Pope into his work straight away. I love watching this kid play. He's everything you want to see in a young batsman, and he is already away, 3 not out, cutting that one nicely behind square. We have just 2 men out, of course, still in the first 6. A ring of 4 on the offside, 2 behind square. Pope will be trying to give himself a bit of room and maybe bisect those 2 behind square on the offside. Shortish tries it, didn't quite get it, slapped it into the floor, and it's no run.
Nice bit of bowling that from
Yeah.
Adam Zampa.
I think he saw him coming, knew what he was trying to do, and just ragged it into the pitch, the Australian leggy.
It's more of a bandana, isn't it, than a headband?
No, it's not. If you get up close, Mark, it's an old-fashioned headband.
Is
Yeah.
it looks bandana-ish from this distance.
He's in again, bouncing along, and a real whip in the action, but it's well played by Pope. Single into the onside. He scampers down the pitch. Ollie Pope very, very quick on his feet. He rocks back quickly, comes down the pitch quickly against the spinners. He knows his way around any situation. He's a fine young player, averaging 59 in first-class cricket. Listen to that, 59 for a 21-year-old. Get him in, Mr. Ed Smith, get him in. This one is looped, first real one that he's given a bit of air, and it was in the slot for Ben Folkes, but he rather clothed it to mid-off, and so a dot ball to finish off. 34 for 3, 5 gone. Essex are feeling pretty good about life, I would say, at the moment, but there is a long way to go in this one. It's a flattish pitch, it's a huge outfield, and this is South London. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Now, the thing, when people talk about Ollie Pope, I always just say, go and look at his hundreds and see how big those hundreds are.
Exactly that.
Yeah, and this season he's had 3 first-class games due to injury, double 100 out in Dubai, 60 odd against Essex, and then 221. When he goes to 100, he goes on. He just loves batting. Well, Jamie Porter is on a hat-trick here, everybody. So this is exciting. 34 for 3. Ollie Pope will be the man on strike. I've just thought of another article.
Steady.
Wide brim sun hats, the best wearers of.
Done.
Have you done it already?
I've done it all, Mark.
Disappointing. Stiff brims, though, mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the floppy as well.
Like the floppy. In over the wicket then is Jamie Porter, hat-trick ball, and forward goes Pope. I'm so glad he didn't take that there, because if you cut that bit of commentary, all you would have heard is, oh, I do like a floppy. As Porter runs in on a hat-trick, but he doesn't take one. 34 for 3. That wouldn't have done Porter. That wouldn't have been the sort of thing that Porter needed when he went back in years to play to grandchildren.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have needed that. As over the wicket he comes again to Ollie Pope. Down the pitch goes Ollie Pope, drives straight into short extra cover, and there is no run.
Well bowled that.
Yeah, very good.
Dernbach-esque, just taking a little bit of pace off it, holding it back, sticking in the pitch a little bit.
It's good stuff, this from Joe. This is only his 17th T20 game.
Yeah.
Apologies. Good stuff from him here. As over the wicket he comes once more. Goes wide of the crease. Short hook, top edge 4. Banged it in. Jamie Porter went wider of the crease. Top edge from Ollie Pope. Straight over keeper Wheater. And away for 4. Pope's on to 8. 38 for 3. It's now that spectacular sight with the lights on in the pavilion. You can see the Crystal Palace antenna lit up in the distance, all the flats lit up as well. Wonderful, wonderful sight for T20 cricketers. Porter over the wicket he comes to Pope. Pope's down the pitch, whips it leg side on. First thing that Ravi Bopara's got wrong tonight. Still looked pretty elegant, but he missed it. And they get a single. One more to the total. 39 for 3. I think on that occasion, a slightly lackadaisical look from Mr. Bopara there.
This is why we love him,
to get through for a single.
This is why we love him.
Porter tosses himself a catch. He was about to come in over the wicket, but Ben Folkes wasn't quite ready. He's ready now, Ben Folkes on 1. It's the final over of the power play. Porter's in, Folkes looks to pull. Doesn't really get anything on this. It hits him high up amidships, rolls into the leg side. Just to mark your card, it was 48 for 3, Essex after 6. Yep. Surrey 39 for 3, coming towards the end of the 6th. So there's not too much in it, but then of course that amazing partnership of 117 between Bopara and Tenduscarter did the damage. Porter, wearing number 44, runs away from us from the Vauxhall Lane, comes right arm over the wicket, nips that one back at Ben Folkes. Good bowling again. Folkes can only push that one straight up the ground, and they get a single. Good over again from Jamie Porter. So that's the end of the power play. And here on BBC Radio London, Surrey 40 for 3, knowing they have to win tonight. Well, both these sides know they have to win tonight to keep their hopes alive. And 187 is the target. Phil Walker after 6, Surrey are 40 for 3.
Yeah, 10.5 runs per over required from here on in across 14 overs with 7 wickets in hand. You would say that this is Essex's game to lose at this stage. However, Surrey have quality in the middle and they have quality in the hutch. Will Jacks, Jordan Clark, Ryan Patel, Jade Dernbach, all of those can bat. And Will Jacks, who has struggled a little in truth in recent weeks, is one of the great young talents really of English cricket and has already influenced games at this level in this format before. Don't write them off yet. Ravi Bopara, could be his day. Flicked hard, nicely in fact, by Ben Folkes into the wide open space, and that is 4 runs. That's a brilliant shot because there wasn't much wrong with the delivery. It was on the rise, on his legs. And he has whipped that one beautifully right out of the screws to beat the 2 men out there on the boundary.
Well, the other thing is, with Ravi, you know there's going to be no pace to it whatsoever. So he's done really well to time it like that.
Yeah, strong wrists there by Ben Folkes. Bopara in again. Same spot, flicked straight to the man on the 45 on the leg side. So they do get a single. In fact, they're going to come back for a second, and they will make their ground quite comfortably in the end. Slight misfield by Mohammed Amir on the 45 on the edge of the circle. He'll be disappointed with himself there, the Pakistani, but very alert batting by Ben Folkes. And he's into his innings now, 6 from 2. And Bopara waddles in again from the pavilion end. This one is in the slot and rather cuffed through the onside for a single. I think he was aiming through extra cover there, Ben Folkes, but the top hand came through. Ended up kind of running across the ball to Paul Walter out there on the boundary at mid-wicket, and so a single to bring Ollie Pope onto strike. Both batsmen now on 9. Surrey 47 for 3 in the 7th. It looks like Adam Wheater, the keeper, is going to be coming up to the stumps. Yes, he's calling for his helmet, brought on by the 12th man, and you imagine Bopara's tricks will be coming to the fore now. He's a magician, as skillful a one-day bowler as there is really in English cricket. Mark Church is shadow bowling for the life of him at the minute. Here it comes, Bopara. This one is short, slapped, just a single. Ollie Pope straight to Paul Walter out there at deep mid. Brings Ben Folkes back onto strike.
What I always enjoy is when he bowls his slower ball.
Yeah.
Bopara. The run-up is the big event, isn't it? It's just the getting to the stumps is the big bit.
Yeah, brilliantly done, because the arm comes over at the same pace, the body maintains the same kind of impetus and momentum, and yet it just loops out apologetically from the back of his hand. This one is shortish, and he's gone. Disappointed for Ben Folkes. 4 down Surrey, and they're struggling now. He's just slapped that one rather half-heartedly to extra cover. It's Dan Lawrence there, I think, or it might be in fact Tom Wesley. Yeah, Tom Wesley it is. Short extra, a rather underwhelming innings in truth by Ben Folkes, and a disappointing way to go. He just didn't get through the shot. As ever, Ravi Bopara just taking a little bit off that one, 5-10% off that one. It wasn't quite there for the drive. He lost his shape, and it was a simple enough catch to the man, straightish at extra cover. It brings Will Jacks to join Ollie Pope, with Surrey now in a heap of trouble. 48 for 4.
You said it, Mr. Walker. It could be Ravi's night, you feel. That catch, those runs, and now a wicket. And yeah, Ben Folkes, it's that Ravi Bopara again. It's like sprinting up or bustling up. That's the big event, because the ball takes so long to get to the batsman, and then Ben Folkes just slapped it straight to extra cover.
Yeah, Essex are doing this very well indeed. Bopara in again, still his first over. This one's full and punched into the offside, but no run. Will Jacks just getting a sighter, and that is the end of Bopara's over. Good start by the Essex man, and Surrey really struggling. 48 for 4, 13 overs remaining. The run rate is still not beyond reach. It's under 11s, but they'll need something special from one or probably both of their young kids here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Will Jacks, wonderful innings at Canterbury when Surrey won that game by 1 run. No, still can't work out how they won that game, but they did by 1 run. And he came out on Tuesday night to try and finish it as quick as possible for net run rate, and only made 9. But he's just looked back to sort of the Will Jacks form in T20 in the last couple of innings. They're going to need him tonight. Ollie Pope will be the man on strike, and it's Simon Harmer, the captain, to bowl the 8th over. Coming in from the Vauxhall end to Ollie Pope. Tucks it leg side, will want 2 here. Ollie Pope scampers the first, won't get 2 as the throw comes in over the top of the stumps. 49 for 4, and that will bring Will Jacks on strike for the first time to Simon Harmer. Elsewhere, just looking at the moment, Middlesex 153 for 5. Hampshire 78 without loss, as this one's tucked away by Will Jacks out towards deep backward square, and that will bring up the 50. So 50 for 4 Surrey, and in the innings break, the Gloucestershire Kent game, Gloucestershire 180 for 3. Kent haven't got started yet. 50 up for Surrey as Harmer is in, and this is tucked again by Ollie Pope into the leg side. Scampers the first. See what they're trying to do here. 2 men back on that massive leg side boundary off towards Archbishop Tennyson's. Almost getting a bit too much on it at the moment. 51 for 4 Surrey. Another 136 required. We're in the 8th as this is turned leg side by Will Jacks. He'll pick up a single. So just knocking Harmer around at the moment, as much that Harmer's given them nothing to get after so far. 52 for 4. And Ollie Pope 12 not out. Right-handed, of course, Ollie Pope, very inventive. as this one's whip leg side. Harmer's just defending that leg side boundary as well. He knows he's got oodles of space. Bowling off, he's got massive leg side to work with as Simon Harmer. One more to the total. Harmer whipping through his over as well. 53 for 4. Just pushing Wesley back to the edge of the circle at extra cover. That short turn, leg side by Jacks, out towards deep mid-wicket. And if you ever want to bowl to your field, that was the over from Simon Harmer. End of it. 8 have gone, and Surrey are 54 for 4. But Simon Harmer said to himself, big leg side boundary, I'm happy to go up one a ball here. 6 off the over.
And why not? Run rate creeping up, it's over 11s now. And Harmer's just 1 over into his 4. You feel like he's already got the blueprint for what's to come. It's a huge leg side boundary. Right-handers are going to have to get everything to clear it. And so it's a good containing job by Essex's one-day captain. It's going to be Ravi again, of course, from the pavilion end this time, bustling in. Here he is, right arm over and playing a miss outside off stump. Will Jacks not quite there to drive, neither one thing nor the other. Not quite a cut, not quite a drive, just a fresh air shot. And Ravi turns on his heels, moseys on back to his mark, and he's away again this time, running down towards us. And this one is bang on the money on off stump, but it's whipped into the onside for a single. Again, it's a well set field, conventional field, but he's bowling well to it. Well, three men now on the onside, 2 on the off.
Essex are doing a Surrey to Surrey.
They are indeed.
Here. Yeah. This is what Surrey have done to sides over the last few weeks here with the big boundaries.
Ollie Pope, who's not the biggest of hitters, is on strike to Ravi Bopara, and this one is cut away. He'll just pick up a single though. Yeah, scampers the first, but there's not a second in that. That's the man at deep extra on the offside. And so they can't quite shake it, these two, just yet.
It's very good from Ravi Bopara, this. Again, for Bopara, with his pace and the way he bowls, he'll love these big boundaries.
Will Jacks on strike, 4 not out. Bopara in the slot, driven. Ooh. And he does manage to grab a single. It leaps off one of the practice pitches to Tom Wesley, and it almost takes him in the mush in the end. I think it may have just come off the shoulder, but ricochets off the body, and they managed to scamper through for a single.
He'd have wanted Ben Folkes' dentist number there for a second, wouldn't he?
You can see them shimmering from here, Ben Folkes' teeth. This one, oh, he's very clever. There he goes, Ollie Pope. Thank you very much. Reverses the hands and just laps it past his right shoulder, past the keeper, and runs away for the most delicate of boundaries, and much needed, as indeed was that blast of fire, because our air conditioning is once again killing me here.
That's a very good shot from Ollie Pope.
That's delightful.
To get some pace on it, he did really well there.
Bopara in again, hiding the ball this time. It's right in the block hole and it's slapped, but not with much bat this time to extra cover. Dot ball. Ollie Pope smashes the back of his bat in frustration and strides up the pitch in high dudgeon there. He was expecting at least a single to stay on strike. He remains now on the non-strikers, 18 to him, just 5 to Will Jacks, and Surrey 61 for 4 after 9. This was not what they were looking for.
Well, interestingly, in the 10th over when Wesley went, that was 69 for 4. So there's not much in it really in terms of runs at the moment, but of course then it was the Tenduscarter Bopara show. Harmer will come over the wicket. Here goes Will Jacks, shot boy. Down the pitch to Harmer, that lovely long extension of the arms from Will Jacks. And away for 6 to the first ball of the 10th over. And when Will Jacks plays that shot, it's like the bat is just an extension of his arms. And long levers, lovely swing of the bat from Will Jacks. And he's on to 11, 67 for 4. Big hands or no big hands, that is a lovely shot from Will Jacks.
Yeah, the punters in the bleachers have dropped another, I'm afraid.
Over the wicket goes Harmer. Jacks drives straight down the ground, sensible. 6, and then just the single down the ground from Will Jacks. He moves on to 12, 68 for 4. Of course, Will Jacks pre-season got on the yellow ticker bar. for his 25 ball 100 against Lancashire. And, well, they could do it the same tonight as Harmer is over the wicket to Pope. Short ball, Pope opens up his feet, pulls, leg side. Off goes Ravi Bopara. Very good with the slide. And the throw comes in, and Phil Walker indicating that was a leggy. From
a leggy or
Harmer,
a doucher or something or other.
But whatever it was halfway down.
Yeah.
It was pulled away by Ollie Pope. He might put that one back in the locker. Simon Harmer is over the wicket. He comes once again, tosses this one up, driven by Pope. Away through extra cover. Walter with his long arms and long legs does the fielding. And it was like a baby giraffe there, wasn't he, Paul Walter? Sprinting round and taking its first steps almost round the boundary. Did very well though. And 72 for 4. Crowd beginning to wake up now as Harmer's in again to Pope. Pope tucks him leg side, will take a single. They've played this over very sensibly.
Yep.
Have Pope and Jacks, the big 6 off the first ball, and then 2s and 1s. 73 for 4. At halfway, Essex was 72 for 4. As over the wicket comes Harmer, and this is Jacks again, straight down the ground. Now he hasn't got all of this. Porter, good luck with this, my friend. Oh, it's over his head. That's gone for 6, I think, just beyond the boundary rope. He was back-pedalling. Porter's asking the crowd and saying 6. I think it was. I think it just landed beyond the rope. It's difficult to tell because obviously we're not televised, so the umpires can't really use the big screen. But I think that was just beyond the boundary rope for 6.
6 runs.
So they're saying 6 now. They're pointing at the big screen to say 6. I don't know how that works though, because this game's not televised. But they're pointing at the big screen, and away for 6 it goes. They could have come and asked us. We had the most perfect. But Jamie Porter, that was a thankless task, wasn't it?
It was, and he was steadying himself 6 or 7 yards in from the boundary, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger on him until it was splayed on the floor, and it had lobbed him. It didn't even carry that far over the boundary, no more than a foot and a half maybe, but 2 big maximums from that over Will Jacks. And again you see just what a natural striker of the ball he is. That first one in particular, Hales-like, you know, there's just a purity to the way that he just went with the shot through the leg side. And that second one, well, that was class. Checked, straight back, didn't try and overhit it, kept his shape. And it's gone a long way downtown. He can play, this boy, without a doubt. He's suddenly on to 18 and Pope on 23, and Surrey getting a bit of energy into this innings. Adam Zampa again, 3rd over from the pavilion end, and they'll pick up a single easily, and they scamper through, but it will just be a single as the bowler himself scampers into mid-wicket to retrieve.
They needed a big over to get them going. That was 18 off that over from Simon Harmer.
Yeah.
And interesting that Jacks went after Harmer there. If you think he's gone over mid-wicket for 6 and then straight down the ground for 6 as well, so he's gone after Simon Harmer.
Will he go after Adam Zampa? The wrist spinner, of course, turning it away from the right-hander. He's in again, bouncing the spinner, and an inside edge into the onside, but they'll pick up a single. He was trying to punch that through the offside. Big inside edge through to square leg. Mark Church is enjoying himself.
He's doing a great game. This is a really good game.
He's doing a dad dance, I'm afraid. I'm here to tell you, in his new 40 quid brogues, he's doing a dad dance.
I've got a bronze medallion in ballroom dancing, Philip.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Passed with distinction.
I don't doubt that for a second. We're both on our feet here. This is a good one. Adam Zampa in again. On the sweep this time. I think he changed his mind halfway through there, Ollie Pope.
It's the Ollie Pope. He plays this extraordinary shot.
Talk me through it.
So his back foot goes in front of his front foot, and he turns himself around and then sweeps. So you watch his back foot here. His back foot will go in front of his front foot. There he goes, turns himself around and then sweeps. It's brilliant. Brilliant.
That is a new shot. I've never seen that one before. This is Jacks. He's flat batted it over. No, he hasn't cleared him. Can he take it? Yes, he has, and he's gone. Caught at long off. It was there for the shot. I thought he'd got enough of it, but he can only find Tender Charter down there at long off, and that is a killer blow for Surrey.
It is, because he's the one that is perfectly capable of knocking the ball out the ground. Now this young man coming out, Jordan Clark, is as well, but Jacks was just beginning to go there, and that's a big wicket. 82 for 5. Well bowled, Adam Zampa.
Yeah, frustrating from a Surrey perspective, because Will Jacks is a match winner, as we well know. We've seen it already before. Just made his debut last year, of course, and he was the talk of the town very quickly in English cricket. He's just 20 years young. He will no doubt go higher in the game. But he's had a bit of a stop-start summer, in truth, for Surrey. And that was rather his season in microcosm right there. Slowish to get going, a couple of eye-catching shots. And then just when he needed to kick on, he finds long off. It was there for the shot. It was in his arc, but he just did not get enough of it. Jordan Clark now, the new batsman, and he's off the mark straight away into the onside. And he tears down that first run. There was never a second in there, but he did turn looking for it. That would have been overs, Scadovers, if he turned and gone with it, as it was Ollie Pope. The old head turned him back. Pope on 25. 9.1 to go. Run rate 11 and a bit, and climbing at this stage. Ollie Pope facing the leg spinner of Adam Zampa, and he cuts that one well, but can't beat the man behind square on the offside. There's two men posted there. He knew what he was trying to do, slightly short, and trying to bisect those two, but he couldn't squeeze it through, and so a dot ball to finish. 83 for 5, 11 gone.
I think we might look back at that over at the end of this and think that was the key over from Adam Zampa, in the fact that Surrey had just taken 18 off Harmer.
Yep.
Jacks had hit a couple of massive sixes, and then Zampa gets rid of Jacks and only goes for 4 in that over. If Surrey could have backed that up with another big over, they were right on the money here. 83 for 5. The thing I hate more than anything, Kiss Cam, is on the big screen. No. As Ravi Bopara down below us, getting ready to bowl the 12th over, and Jordan Clark, the man on strike. So Clark waits with his bat raised and pushes this one straight back up the pitch to Bopara, and there is no run.
Ricky Clark injured or dropped?
Not picked. No.
Surprising.
Yeah, no, he's not had a good tournament, and it's a surprise to everybody. Came straight back, of course, in Championship cricket and picked up a 7-fer.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. He took 5 in the first
just
innings.
Hasn't really fired in the T20 this season. As waiting is Jordan Clark. Clark swings, horrible looking shot, but he'll get a single. Took himself off his feet there. And one more to the total, little inside edge. And 84 for 5. And Pope comes back onto strike on 25. Jordan Clark, it took me a couple of weeks to think of who he reminds me of, and a few people have said it now. When he bats and the way he sets up and fields and everything, the late great Tom Maynard, set up is exactly the same as Bopara in over the wicket to Ollie Pope. Short one, Pope pulls. It's well bowled by Bopara. Basically, he's just stuck it in halfway down at no pace. So you've got to wait and wait and wait and wait, and then you've got a massive leg side boundary, and just a single out there to deep mid-wicket. One more to the total. Pope's on to 26. He's got no pace to work with. Ollie Pope off Ravi Bopara. Waits again as Jordan Clark drives. Thickish edge down towards third man. And they'll pick up a single. Although he's slightly changed his stance, Jordan Clark. He's picking the bat up a lot higher now.
Right.
He was sort of with that horizontal bat above the stumps with the line of the bails. He's picking it up a lot higher now. Touch of the Robin Smiths about that stance. As over the wicket comes Bopara once again and follows Pope. Lovely bit of bowling again. Ollie Pope tucks it out towards deep mid-wicket. They'll pick up another single. One more to the total, 87 for 5. We've all been there, but Ravi Bopara at the moment is like that cricketer, that opening bowler in club cricket who's done it for years. And you cannot get them away. And it's just horrific. As over the wicket he comes once again, Bopara. He can make you look very silly here as Jordan Clark tucks this one down the ground, and round comes Porter. Good over from Bopara, backs up the over from Zampa. 12 overs gone. Mr. Walker's packing up already. 88 for 5.
I've had to sleep my laptop, Mark. I've got no battery left.
Did you not bring your charger?
No.
Oh no.
So my searing statistical insights are going to have to wait, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
You've got one of those really nice ones, fruit ones, haven't you?
It is rather pretty.
It's lovely.
My ones are reconditioned, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
It's still got sand from Dubai on it as well. It's a bit of a worry.
It's going to be Adam Zampa again to bowl out, I think. I think this is his fourth and final. Bounding in again, the leggy, and this one is in the slot, and it's a fresh air shot by Jordan Clark, down on one knee. He's trying to clobber him over cow, but he gets nothing on it. He's rather telegraphed his approach here.
Well, this is
he's an uncomplicated kind of cricketer, is Jordan Clark.
He is. He's a very exciting cricketer, but uncomplicated is the right word.
Leggy in again. Flat one, slapped straight. Has he got enough of it? Yes, it does. One bounce four, I think it is. One bounce four, straight down the ground towards the black sight screen just below the Mickey Stewart Pavilion. And he's away.
Much like your good self, the other word I'd use is strong.
Yeah.
For Jordan Clark.
Yeah.
Strong man, Jordan Clark. So half hits tend to go a long way.
He's a big lad, isn't he? He's in again here. The Warne-like step and then the sudden explosion. I tell you what, that's exploded off the bat. That's gone way back at deep square, deep straight indeed, for just over mid-wicket. That's gone a long way. It's sat up and asked to be hit. Here it is, yeah. Oh, that's a good clobber, good old-fashioned clobber. And then he just puts his hand to his eyes just to see
it out the floodlights.
See it out the floodlights. Where's that one gone? That's a 100-yard hit, I would say. 95-yard hit at least. The leggy this time is right, giving him nothing to hit, and he just angles it behind square for a single. Good batting now for Jordan Clark. Yeah, 11 from the last 3 deliveries, and just when you think Surrey are drifting out of this game, they have a sudden flurry and they're back in it.
Just when you thought it was safe to go in the kitchen.
They need 2 a ball, exactly. 12 and over needed. In again, Zampa. Dot ball slapped straight back to him by Ollie Pope, who's frustrated with that. Advancing down the track and almost went too far. Rather yorked himself. And the leggy moseys back to his mark here, ripping it from one hand to the other. And again, the Warne-like walk into the stumps and then the sudden explosion, and he goes sweeping this time, and it beats the man at straight mid-wicket, and in fact, it's gone all the way, Ollie Pope. He's timed that one beautifully, and I tell you, that was flat and hard. There's not much of him, Ollie Pope, but he hits a clean ball, and the 100 is suddenly up, 105 for 5, 13 gone. And that was a very, very useful over for the home side.
Well, this is getting uncanny now, because the 14th over there, the 13th over during the Essex innings, 14. And that one from Surrey there was 17. So they're all sort of matching each other at the same stages of the innings. Ooh, we're not going to have a tie again, are we?
They need 82 to win from 7 overs. That's eminently possible in T20 cricket.
A tie would do nobody any good.
No. So it would be good fun, though.
It'd be great fun. I had the marvellous moment of AJ Tie batting for a tie. It was just the greatest moment ever earlier on. As Ravi Bopara, 14th over to Jordan Clark, and swings this one down the ground towards long on. And there is Simon Harmer with his big hands to do the fielding.
Look at my offices, Mark. Look at those.
I know that.
In the beds to stand, standing room only. Look at them.
Look at them. Who are all those people in your office?
I honestly don't
know. It's like my wedding.
Quiz
no
show.
idea who anybody was.
Yeah, quiz show Dave gave him 20 tickets. I don't know half the people there.
It's this one. Third leg side by Ollie Pope. They'll pick up a single. One more to the total. They seem to all just be talking to each other at the moment.
I'm sure they're glued to
the action. 107 for 5.
There we are. Look on the screen.
There they are. We can see them on the live stream now. Adam behind us using that great editorial trick of clicking his fingers to get our attention. As over the wicket comes Ravi Bopara again to Jordan Clark. The uppercut from Jordan Clark. He's done pretty well to get it almost down to third man. Because, as I say, Ravi Bopara, no pace whatsoever. Jordan Clark's on to 17. 108 for 5. Back onto strike comes Ollie Pope. That target for Surrey, just a reminder, 187. Essex Eagles earlier on this evening, 186 for 4 off their 20.
Pope waits again as Papara is over the wicket to him, and Ollie Pope backs away, slaps this one off the front foot, out towards Walter, sweeping on the cover boundary rope. They'll pick up another single. One more to the total. Pope on to 35, 109 for 5.
He's missed out a couple of times there, Ollie Pope, on the wide-ish half volley, where, if anything, he's just doing a bit too much in the shot. He wants to stay in it a little longer.
Papara's in. And this one's driven down the ground by Jordan Clark. Pope will think about 2 here. He'll get back for 2. Well, Ollie Pope. For Ollie Pope, he took the first one quite quietly and then realised there was 2 and came sprinting back and almost knocked himself over because he slid his bat in and his bat sort of got caught in the ground and almost his momentum sent him tumbling. But he's okay, stayed on his feet. Good balance. 111 for 5, Surrey. Now they're going long off and bringing third man up for Jordan Clark. Papara over the wicket to Clark. Clark, oh, he's gone down the ground. Porter. Oh, he's gone through him again for 6. And Jamie Porter, it's tough down there. They just put the man there. And Jordan Clark took him on, but I think it's gone through his hands, clean through his hands for 6. Clark is on to 25, 6 off the last ball of the over. This isn't done and dusted yet by any means. 14 gone, 117 for 5.
Yeah, even if he had managed to get 2 good hands on that one, the momentum would still have carried him over the boundary. That was a strong shot. And
that time of the evening, everybody. Just sorry to interrupt, Mr. Walker.
Go for it.
Become part of the commentary there. So it is Neil Diamond. It's that time of the evening. Now let's see what this one sounds like tonight, everybody. Here we go, Neil Diamond for you. Very good tonight. Very good tonight. Yeah, Neil Diamond's done so well out of the T20, hasn't he? Whoever thought? Do you think when he was starring in the Jazz Cigar, if someone had said to him, "Do you know what? You are going to be so big at cricket. You're going to be massive, Neil." I don't think he'd have believed you.
No, the thing with Neil Diamond, uncool but deeply underrated and actually a genius in his field, which is perfect for cricket.
Absolutely.
He slips right in there.
Unsurprisingly, he's one of my favourite artists.
With good reason though, Mark.
Absolutely.
Right, it's going to be the giant, Paul Walter. Oh my word, he's played on. Ollie Pope cannot believe what he's done here. Slower ball into the pitch and he's tried to scoop it over the man at third man, and instead he's just rather dragged it onto his leg stump. Yeah, just one bail off that leg stump and he is disconsolate. Cannot believe how he's managed to do that. Came off a bit of glove, yeah, a bit of glove and a bit of bat, bit of the face of the bat. No pace on it. He should have maybe had a look, just one delivery of Paul Walter's spell, and what a moment. Ollie Pope was in, he was seeing it well. He plots his way around these chases so brilliantly for a kid of his age. But not tonight, 117 for 6. Yeah. Ryan Patel, good young cricketer, but not the most expressive of batsmen. He's in, left-hander, 6 down now, Surrey, and they need something special.
It's funny, isn't it? You could try and do that again 1,000 times, Ollie Pope, and that would never happen again. He was looking to reverse it, basically reversed it straight back onto his leg stump. So Ollie Pope cut off in his prime there, really, by Paul Walter, but well Paul Walter and well captain Simon Harmer.
Indeed, 5.5 to go. And 70 required for the home team. Walter in again, 7 foot and plenty. And it's knocked into the onside by Ryan Patel, and he's scampering the first. And Jordan Clark holds back on the second to retain the strike. He's on 25, Jordan Clark.
Yeah, Essex are doing a Surrey, as I said earlier, on Surrey, with the big boundaries.
He's in again. Paul Walter, left arm over, right in the slot, hit hard, hit high, into the space, and oh, there's going to be a collision, thankfully. Thankfully, both men avoid each other. They also avoid taking the catch. I think it was Simon Harmer who got his hands to it, running back from extra cover, but tearing in was Cameron Delport at deep cover, and thankfully they managed to avoid each other. Oh, that could have been ugly. That could have been Dizzy Gillespie and Steve Waugh all over again. Thankfully, they avoid each other in 2 runs. Jordan Clark back on strike, 27 not out. Here he comes again, and he tries to launch this one out the ground, but he can only rather cloth it to the man at deep square rather, on the onside for a single, and it brings Ryan Patel back onto strike.
I hate those because my mind goes straight back to Rory Burns and Moises Henriques a couple of years
You know,
ago.
I had one myself.
Oh, yes, you did, didn't you?
Broke my jaw, three places.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you, darling.
You're not having flashbacks?
Thanks. I always do, literally every time. Paul Walker in again, leg side wide, I would imagine. Yep, umpire demurs on that one. Let that one go past. Wide ball, 1-2-2 for 6.
Horrible. Poor old G. I remember that.
Yeah, lad broke his leg on my face and smashed it in 3 places. Anyway, I'm still pretty, not a problem. Here is Paul Walter in the slot, cut away beautifully, in fact, by Ryan Patel. But of course, there will be a man at deep square, so just a single. He's got class, this boy. I'm not sure if he is yet a T20 finisher. We'll have to wait and see, but he's great to watch, Ryan Patel. He's a real stylist, real technician.
Someone said you're better looking.
I'll knock it off. Right, Jordan Clark. If there's one man who's going to win this game, it's Jordan Clark. He's got the strength, the levers, and the pedigree to do it. Paul Walter. And there it is, bang on cue. That's gone 20 yards deep, 20 rows deep. Listen to the crowd.
Caught it. I think that's a grand.
He's got one.
Well done,
oh,
sir.
He's been
Hoisted
on his mate's shoulders.
Well done.
Oh, that is life-changing.
That's a lovely moment, isn't it? What a lovely moment.
Oh, what a moment. Look at this.
There are tears here.
Without a doubt.
There's tears.
Oh, he's kissed the ball as well.
You've done your bit now. Get on with it, because we've got a game to. Don't overdo it.
Milk it.
Don't overdo it. But no, great catch. But it was a typical Jordan Clark thump, wasn't it? Just stood there and hauled it.
Yeah.
Massive shot from Jordan Clark. Just when you think you know what's going to happen here, and this is the wonderful thing about this game, then something else happens, and you think, oh, hang on. So there are 5 overs remaining. And it's 129 for 6, so it's 58 off 5 for Surrey. So it's 11 and a halves. Even I can work that one out. 11 and a halves. There's the gentleman who took the catch. Well done, sir.
He's
excellent.
overcome, isn't he?
He is overcome. He's absolutely overcome. So he's just made a few more new friends as well. As Simon Harmer's screaming down to Ravi Bopara long off, because Simon Harmer will bowl the 16th over. Coming into the left-handed Ryan Patel, who will go here. Thick outside edge, straight to backward point. He had to do something, and Ryan Denderscarts takes an easy catch. Ryan Patel goes for 2, 129 for 7.
Yeah, so will it be Jay Dernbach, or it might be Gareth Batty? A lot of experience, of course, between those two. Yeah, I guess he had to at this stage.
Although you say that, he might have been better off, and he'll probably think this just knock a single and get Jordan Clark onto strike. But as it is, he went for the big slog sweep. Then Ryan Patel goes for 1, and Jay Dernbach, at the dizzying heights of number 9, makes his way out into the middle to join Jordan Clark. So the Surrey captain, is tonight the night for Jay Dernbach with the bat in T20 cricket as captain. But they're just showing that shot from Jordan Clark off Walter again. It was just a flat batted hoik over mid-wicket for 6, and he absolutely nailed it. The good thing they did there was Jordan Clark made sure he got past Ryan Patel before the catch was taken. So it's good. I think they'd call it in modern terms game awareness there from Jordan Clark. Another word for that is common sense. So Jordan Clark waits as Simon Harmer is in to Jordan Clark, slams him down the ground, and they'll take a single down towards the long off. Wesley does the fielding. 1 more to the total. 130 for 7. So Surrey hanging by a thread at the moment in the competition. They need something special from Jordan Clark.
It's been a great atmosphere tonight. There's been an appreciation, I think, of the game. There wasn't anything raucous during Essex's innings, or indeed at the start of Surrey's innings either. There was appreciation of the game and the quality on show.
Harmer to Jay Dernbach, looks to whip it leg side, hits the pad, rolls away, and there is no run. So just looking at the stats for Jay Dernbach, which you have to do when he gets out there, 5 runs in the comp this season, so he's going to have to improve that a bit here. He's driving out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope is Jay Dernbach. He's off the mark with the single. 131 for 7.
It's interesting. seeing Ryan Patel in the side, he bowled 1 over, he's batting down at number 8, and Ricky Clark's in the hutch. You know, he may not have had a great tournament, Ricky Clark, but there is massive pedigree there with the bloke. I'm surprised he hasn't made the cut today.
As this one's into the block hole and turned down the ground by Jordan Clark. Bapara does the fielding.
One more to the total. Yeah, just to say the stats for Ricky Clark going into this game, if he'd played 27 runs at 5.4.
Okay, so it's not overwhelming.
No, and 9 overs for 119 runs. As this is the paddle sweep from Jade Dernbach, and it's very nicely played down towards Fye leg, and Jade Dernbach will get a couple there. So Jade Dernbach moves on to 3. End of the over from Simon Harmer. 16 gone, 4 left here on BBC London. 53 required by Surrey, and there are 24 balls remaining.
Yeah, you think, of course, this is going to be Essex's game, but T20 cricket is born for these moments, really. If Jordan Clark can get hold of Mohamed Amir and he's on strike, Mo Amir, of course, as storied a fast bowler in T20 cricket as there has ever been. But if he can get hold of him, then you never know. He's on 36. They need a 15 or 20 off this one, you feel. 53 required from 4 overs, 53 from 24 balls. It should be out of sight. But this is T20 cricket, and this is the Oval. Theatre of the absurd here so often in this kind of cricket. Bouncer flown past his front lid, and that is a dot ball to begin. Well bowled, Mohamed Amir. God, he's good.
Just to say elsewhere, it looks like Hampshire are going to beat Middlesex at a canter, so that will take Hampshire on to 13 points. Essex win this one, they'll go on to 13 points. And Gloucestershire and Kent, well, whoever wins that one will go to 16 points. So tomorrow, if it goes the way we're thinking it would at the moment, Somerset, Middlesex, Hampshire and Essex would all be on 13 points.
Mohamed Amir in again. Smeared into the onside just for a single. That's frustrating for Jordan Clark. One from the first 2 balls, and that's not what Surrey need. Brings Jade Dernbach back onto strike. Loosens himself up, stretches his arms, takes guard. But you feel that this is slipping away now for the home side.
Yeah.
1-3-5 for 7.
Definitely. And Jordan Clark has to see every delivery. Unfortunately, he's stuck at the non-strikers in now.
They miss Tom Curran as well in these kinds of situations. He's a very, very useful run chaser, isn't he, at these kinds of moments.
Oh, the difference tonight has been that partnership from Bapara and Tenduscar. I know it's an obvious thing to say, but the way they play,
yeah,
brilliant.
Mohamed Amir in again, in the block hole, hit hard. Does it clear the man? I think it does. It does clear the man, and it plugs at deep mid-off, and they scammer back for 2. Tenduscar turning on his heel at deep mid-off, but he couldn't quite take that catch. It wasn't within reach. And another 2 to the target.
But tomorrow night was always going to be interesting because Essex play Kent, Glamorgan play Hampshire, Somerset play Middlesex, and Sussex play Gloucestershire. So it's all going to go down to those games tomorrow night, and there could be, as I say, 4 teams on 13 points.
Mark Church has written Surrey off in this one. 3.3 to go, 50 needed. It would need something special, and Jade Dernbach tried it. But it's not really worked for him in truth. He's tried to paddle it round the corner on the leg side, but it's just cannoned into his front pad, way outside off stump.
I'll tell you what, if they do it from here, one of the great wins of all time
Yeah,
against this bowling attack. That's the other thing. This bloke's still got an over to go after this.
It's interesting when you see this Essex side. There's not much wrong with it, is there, really?
No.
They're perhaps a batsman light, possibly at a push. Maybe a seamer light, possibly at a push, but there's a lot going on in this side. Bouncer this time by Mohamed Amir, that was quick. And Jade Dernbach had no choice but to duck underneath it. This game is done, folks. This game is done and dusted, you feel. 1 delivery to go of the 16th over.
Yeah, the other thing they've missed this year, I suppose, is the runs of Varun Chopra from last year, who was unbelievable last year, just hasn't got going this year.
Yeah.
In the T20. Over 500 runs last year in the competition, Varun Chopra.
Final delivery of his 3rd over. Mohamed Amir in again, and he slapped that one hard, and that's going to run away for 2, maybe, yeah, just the 2. It's an agricultural shot by Jade Dernbach. He kind of climbs into it off the back foot, somehow manages to get it straight. and they get a couple, so at least Jordan Clark will be on strike for the 18th over, probably to be bowled by Simon Harmer, although we shall see. In fact, who's it going to be? I think it's going to be the leggy, in fact.
Zampa,
Adam Zampa.
I tell you what, at the moment, needs to consult his inner Ben Stokes here, Jordan
Clark. It's that sort of situation,
They're
isn't
good
it?
mates, of course, those two.
Yeah, but it's that sort of situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need something like that from
One
Clark.
crazy over, three maximums here to give themselves a puncher's chance going down the last, but 48 from 3.
Right then, Adam Zampa to bowl the 18th over with his leggies coming over the wicket to Jordan Clark. He's going to have to go here, Jordan Clark. He drives, he's hammered that, that's 4. All along the carpet for 4. Powerful shot from Jordan Clark. He's on to 41, Jordan Clark. Of course, made his name in the second team game for Lancashire with 6 sixes, didn't he, Jordan Clark? Very capable. 143 for 7. Adam
Cracking shot
Zampa
there.
spins the ball in his fingers once again. He's got the crowd going, that. Zampa's in, Jordan Clark backs away, cut, just get a single. So Jordan Clark loses the strike. He moves on to 42, 144 for 7. Jade Dernbach comes on to strike on 7. Jade Dernbach waits over his bat once more. He'll give it everything. Zampa is into him. Here goes Jade Dernbach, swing and a miss. Another one from Zampa. That's just missed the leg stump. Jade Dernbach almost swung himself off his feet there. I think it's fair to say he lost his shape a touch on that shot. Zampa in over the wicket once more to Jade Dernbach. That's the quicker one. Dernbach was down the pitch. He'll tuck it leg side. They won't take 2, will they? They will take 2. So Jordan Clark's lost the strike again here. And Jade Dernbach picks up a couple, but actually Essex won't mind that at all. And Dernbach's on to 9, 146 for 7.
Yeah, surprising that they took that second, really. It means that Dernbach will be facing his third ball of this over, and Jordan Clark has becalmed at the other end on 42.
Spins the ball in his fingers once again. Zampa comes in over the wicket. Swung down the ground by Jade Dernbach. He's got nothing on this and will go. Caught on the edge of the circle at extra cover. And Jade Dernbach goes, was trying his best there, but it's not really the situation this for Jade Dernbach. And Dernbach goes for 9. They have crossed, so Jordan Clark will be on strike. 146 for 8, Phil Walker.
Well, don't you concern yourself, because Gareth Batty is striding out. He's barely begun to leave the field here, Jade Dernbach, and his replacement is already there at the crease. Look at him bouncing along.
Well, it is the Gareth Batty kicking the bar doors open and just striding into the saloon, isn't it? And he's joining Jordan Clark.
He believes.
Absolutely. But I think the key thing for Gareth Batty here is run like the wind and get Jordan Clark on strike.
He is on strike, Jordan Clark. At least they crossed. So 1 delivery to go.
Take a single, you would have thought. I know they need, but he's got to be on strike to have any hope, Surrey. It's 40 off 2 if he takes a single. Zampa is in, and they're going to take the single. There you go. So there'll be 40 needed of 2 deliveries. Of 2 deliveries, of 2 overs. If it was off 2 deliveries, that would be the end of the game. But 40 needed of 12 balls. That has been done before. And Jordan Clark, the key thing is on strike. Now, Essex should win this game, no doubt whatsoever about this, but this is the summer when all sorts of things happen in a game of cricket, so anything could happen here, really.
Well, I'm sure Stokesy will be urging on his best mate in cricket, Jordan Clark. He's 42 not out. He's clubbed a few, he's clothed a few, and he's belted a few into the bleachers. It's been a Clarkian innings so far. Surrey 147 for 8. They should be done and dusted in this one, but you never know. It's going to be Mohammed Amir. Bouncer for me. Yorker, bang on. Brilliant. As ever.
Brilliant.
Spot on, Mark.
Brilliant.
And they are coming back for 2, and Gareth Batty makes his ground comfortably, and indeed it came down to the keeper's end, and Jordan Clark is able to scamper home.
Well, that's terrific bowling. It's good sprinting from Gareth Batty as well.
It was, you called it.
Well, I think he probably could have left his bat and pads in the dugout. I think literally all he's going to have to do here is just sprint, Gareth Batty.
In again, the great Mohammed Amir pauses at the crease. Oh, this is inside edge Chinese cut style, but in fact the man is quite fine at long leg, and so it's just a single. I thought that was going to run away for 4. And so just a single to Jordan Clark, flying past his leg stump. It brings our man JB onto strike, Gareth Batty. And it feels rather forlorn in truth. 10 deliveries to go, 37 required.
Well, and it's this bloke, Mohammed Amir.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to take 20 off Mohammed Amir. That is not an easy task, is it?
And this is his ground as well. He loves bowling here. He got rid of Virat Kohli a couple of years ago. But he can't get rid of Gareth Batty, who clubs it into the onside.
It's not often you're going to say that sentence.
Disdainful.
Relish it. Relish it.
But it was from the pavilion end in that Champions Trophy final, wasn't it? That Mohammed Amir just knocked out the heart of the Indian batting.
Yeah. I was here for that one. That was an incredible day.
Yeah, this is done now.
Yep. 9 deliveries to go, 36 required. Jordan Clark on strike. Amir, block hole, clubs it straight, and that will plug but probably limp over the boundary. No one at, long off, indeed it does. So, a boundary 4 takes Clark onto 49.
Just looking, Zampa's bowled out. Now, the only thing here is, will it be Harmer or Porter to bowl the last? Now, obviously Porter's picked up wickets. Harmer, the off spin.
I think Harmer will go with himself.
Right.
Wide of the crease this time. Yorker beautifully bowled, block hole. He is pure class.
Yeah, he's a wonderful bowler.
So just a single. Raises his bat, Jordan Clark. It's a good knock, but it's not enough. Surrey are bowing out of this year's Vitality Blast. It's been an up and down campaign for them, in truth. They've flickered at times and roused themselves in the last week or so, but in truth they left themselves too much to do. Mohammed Amir in again to Gareth Batty, and he's clothed this one to mid-off, and he goes, the great man. Simon Harmer's big hands does it again.
Well, he didn't have to move, did he, Simon Harmer? It's just toe-ended that, Gareth Batty, trying his best against Mohammed Amir, of course, but it's so difficult against a bowler like Amir, and just looped to mid-off, and so Gareth Batty goes for 1. That's Jordan Clark's first 50 for Surrey in the T20. He's played really well, but this will bring Imran Tahir jogging out to the middle. Imran Tahir with one of my favourite moments of the competition this year. It involved him with the bat. The tied game at Hove.
Oh, yeah.
Scampered to, ran back to the dugout, waving his arms, punching the air, at which point the Surrey players went, it's a tie, it's a tie, we haven't won. So it was tremendous stuff for Imran Tahir. So this is going to need something very special from Jordan Clark, and it will be Jamie Porter to bowl the final over. So Jamie Porter to bowl the final over, 31 required by Surrey to win this game, with Jordan Clark on strike on 50. Porter is over the wicket. Jordan Clark swings in leg side behind square. 1 bounce, 2 bounces for 4. Boundary off the first ball of the over. 27 required off 5 balls. It's the summer of summers. Every time you think you've seen it, something else happens. So boundary off the first ball of the over.
You're a pro, aren't you, Mark?
5 left. 27 required. Jordan Clark waits again on 54. Porter's into him. Jordan Clark swings it for 6. Massive hit from Jordan Clark. Good evening, everybody. 21 required off 4 balls. Porter dropped it in. Jordan Clark swung it leg side. And Jordan Clark's on to 60 here. 21 required off 4 balls. 4 sixes. Surrey win this game. Extraordinary.
They can afford a 4.
Yep. 4 sixes. Jordan Clark, 10 off 2. Jamie Porter, this is all about holding your nerve, even at this stage for Jamie Porter. Over the wicket he comes to Jordan Clark. One ball right up on the bootlaces, and Jordan Clark slammed that one bounce down towards Ravi Bopara, and they won't take a run. So it's 21 off 3 balls, and even my maths tells me that's difficult.
Yeah, they'll be kicking themselves, really. One man's gone on here and got 60 odd, and a few have flickered, but not enough. 9 down, Surrey, they will be kicking themselves at the end of this one.
As in over the wicket comes Porter once again to Jordan Clark. Great Yorker. Jordan Clark digs it out, it rolls out towards extra cover, and there's no run. So Essex will win this game as we thought they would, but when Jordan Clark there went 4-6, you just thought for a second. But yet Surrey will not only be kicking themselves about tonight, they'll be kicking themselves about a couple of games this season, and that's really what's done for them even going into tonight. But well played to Essex.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams.
Alive.
There's a lot of good teams in this tournament, but there aren't many better than Essex when they're on form.
Porter over the wicket to Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark down the leg side, wide will be the signal, and that'll be one more to the total and an extra ball. Just to say, in the other games, just a quick check, it looked like Hampshire were going to, Hampshire have beaten Middlesex. That takes Hampshire on to 13 points. This win for Essex will take them on to 13 points. Extraordinary. Somerset and Middlesex both on 13 points. All goes down to tomorrow. Porter is in. Swung high in the air. Porter's going to try and take this off his own bowling. Good catch. Jamie Porter finishes the game, and Essex keep their hopes alive. Surrey are out the competition, and Jordan Clark, great effort. He's the last man to go for 60, but it's Essex that win this game and keep their hopes alive and progressing into the quarter-finals. They've won by 19 runs, and Essex tomorrow welcome Kent to Chelmsford.
Yeah, good stuff by Essex, really. They held their nerve. They got a couple of quick ones up top. 3 down very, very quickly, Surrey inside the first 6. And Essex clamped on Surrey from there on in. In the end, they did it quite comfortably. There was the odd flicker of concern when Jordan Clark was going well with Ollie Pope. But Essex have got a good thing going here, and if they can somehow creep through tomorrow, creep into that 4th slot, then they will be a feared opponent of any side in the North Group. They've done it very well. It's Bopara's game, of course, 70 not out in just 35 balls, 4 sixes in the biggest ground in England. Tender Sharta supported him brilliantly in 100+ partnerships. Tender Sharta 55 not out. And then Jamie Porter in his first game this year in T20 cricket came in, slipped in there with 4 for, beautifully bowled. Adam Zampa bowled nicely as well, 2 for 33. Apart from Jordan Clark and Ollie Pope, no one got going, really. Will Jacks played nicely for 19, but aside from that, highest score of 12 for the other 8 batsmen. That's not enough for Surrey on a good pitch, and they needed to deliver today. Unfortunately for the home crowd, 20+ thousand yet again, who have always enjoyed themselves here. They've had another good night out. It just wasn't quite enough.
And as I say, that means Essex go on to 13 points with their game against Kent tomorrow. Hampshire have got on to 13 points. They play Glamorgan tomorrow, and Glamorgan haven't won a game yet this season. Middlesex, they will go into their game tomorrow against Somerset at Taunton on 13 points, with Somerset on 13 points, and Kent look like they might beat Gloucestershire. That would take them on to 16 points, so it's all to play for tomorrow. But for Surrey, it's the end of their T20 season, and they will just look back at some games where they should have won, didn't get off to a quick start. They've had a better last couple of weeks, but they'll be desperately disappointed by this. Phil Walker, thank you, sir, for your company as
Pleasure.
always. Been an absolute honour, as always, to be alongside your good self. So that's it for Surrey in the T20. Essex go marching into the final round of games tomorrow, still with a chance of getting a quarter-final spot. Thanks for your company as always. Next up for Surrey, well, we're back into championship action, and that'll be down at Hampshire in a week's time at the Ageas Bowl. But the news tonight is that Essex have beaten Surrey by 19 runs. From myself and Phil Walker, it's a very good night to one and all.